And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the FreshandFit Podcast, man. Regular edition. It's Money Monday. We got Brandon Carter, Derek Moneyberg in the house. We're going to talk about money and the recession, guys. Let's get into it.
Let's go. We're back.
All right, we're back, guys. What's up? Welcome to the FreshandFit Podcast, man. It's Money Monday. We got Brandon Carter in the house and Derek Moneyberg, man. As you guys know, they've been on before. Great information about to come your way. But before we do a quick announcement, we get into the show. Patreon.com/FreshFit, guys. Go ahead and get all the behind-the-scenes content there. Whether it's us kicking out annoying-ass girls. You know, I think we're up to, 103 right now or something like that?
15. Good for you. Good for you.
What was that?
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah, 103.
103.
Yeah, 103. Shout out to Roman for keeping up the stats. Or, Zoom calls, helping y'all make money, get in shape, become a better guy, womanizing, whatever it is that you guys need in your masculine journey. We got y'all. Patreon.com/FreshFit. Get all the behind-the-scenes content. We're going to have a Zoom call next weekend, guys, as well, where we're going to, have an open Q&A. Next, check us out on Spotify, Google, Apple, and Apple
Podcast.
I sound like fresh right now. Catch us on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcast, guys. The link is anchor.fm/freshfit. Again, it's anchor.fm/freshfit. It'll take you to the destination that you like to listen to podcasts. Just make sure you wear headphones so you don't get fired from your job. Also, get the merch, FreshandFitPodcast.com, hoodies, t-shirts, all that stuff, man. Get the legacy merch there.
Yeah, man.
Just we got buy it, bro. Listen to our stuff.
You need to stop buying Fendi and buy FreshandFit, man. Come on, brother. Support the game.
Damn,
Nah,
man.
I'm too styling right now.
I'm slipping. My fault.
And then, so yeah, guys, get the merch over there, FreshandFitPodcast.com. Also, guys, go ahead and check out our other YouTube channel. It's called FreshFit Clips, man. We're posting 2 to 3 clips per day on there per day. Not only that, guys, we post shorts, we post regular clips. About 4 videos per day, actually. It's 2 clips and then 2 shorts. So go ahead and check us out over there. You might not have time to catch full podcast, but you could definitely get the best parts on FreshandFit Clips, guys. Help us hit 250K on that one. We're very close. I think we're like 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers away from that one. Yeah. So help us hit 250,000 so we can flex on the haters. And then also, Fresh has a vlog channel.
Guys, real talk, man. We just dropped a fire vlog with the car photo shoot on the vlog channel. My best one yet. Video is off the chain, guys. So check it out. And then we do live streams Tuesday and Thursday. Don't miss that, guys. It's gonna be lit. Shout out to y'all. See you, gang. We're out.
Cool. And then for behind the scenes content, guys, as far as like when it comes to law enforcement and how federal agents and police officers do their investigations, go ahead and check me out on Fed 1811. I just recently did the Trump search warrant breakdown. As you guys know, he was raided by the FBI. I went ahead and did an episode with my boy Andrew Esquire. We broke down the warrant, how the FBI was able to get their probable cause, what we suspect, and new court documents that came out that showed the actual FBI search warrant application, which we were able to come up with a bunch of different theories as to what's going on. But it's very obvious it's the FBI office out of Washington, D.C. doing the case. And there's some other things behind the scenes as well, which we broke down on that. And then also, I'm going to be dropping the O.J. Simpson documentary breakdown, guys. Probably Wednesday or Thursday. It took me 3.5 hours to film it, which is why I'm so tired right now. I barely slept. But it was a great episode, man. I broke down everything. And at the end, I gave my theory on who I actually think killed it.
Because he's innocent, right?
I will say it wasn't him alone.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It definitely, there was some other powers at play. And when you guys see the documentary and the breakdown, you guys are going to see I basically combine all the forensic evidence, all the testimony, etc., and I come to a conclusion of what I think actually happened. And it's very probable when you look at all the facts. But I'll drop that on Thursday. You guys have been asking for that for literally months. So it's finally done. O.J. Simpson case will be out there. Former Fed reacts to it. I'll catch you guys there probably on Wednesday or Thursday. It depends on how long it takes me to upload and get all the stuff edited. But other than that, man, I guess we got some special guests in the house. Can y'all introduce yourselves, please, to the people? We know who you are, but they may not.
I got to let the Moneyberg go first, man. I got to let my man Moneyberg go first.
The living legend, the hero, the God himself, Lord Brandon Carter.
Thank you.
King Keto, a.k.a. King Keto.
Thank
you. A.k.a. President Carter.
Well, this is, those of y'all don't know who Moneyberg is, man. Listen, all this jewelry I have on, new iced out AP, man. Fresh, man. Your shit ain't got no ice on it, man.
Listen,
you
man,
losing money out here? Or?
Well, it's a recession, bro.
It's a recession.
Did you not see the title?
Got it. I mean,
bro.
You
for
not see
some
the title of the show?
for some people, man. But you know, I'm real excited for Moneyberg to be here because, you know, I knew about business. I knew how to make money in business, but I had never like really invested until like Moneyberg kind of put me on to like the investment part. I kind of just ignored that part. I was just like, I'll just make money.
Just
with my
generating
business
money like a machine,
and investing my money in my businesses. But he taught me some things, man, that we're going to share with y'all today, right? That were able for me to like just really get the money, my earned income, put it into like different assets that are outside of my business, and I use all those assets to buy all this shit, you know, flex on the haters, stun on the hoes, things of that nature. And but I wouldn't be able to ball as hard as I ball now had it not been for Moneyberg. So I'm real excited to bring him on here and to give y'all some of that knowledge as well.
Yeah, and to add to the boot, in a recession.
In a recession.
There you go, man.
It's not a recession for everyone. You know? Like, it's y'all recession. I'm doing great because a lot of money can be made in a recession if you know what you're doing, and that's what we're going to talk about today. You know,
and I think that's really important that the audience knows that like you didn't take your earned income and buy these things. You took it off of passive income, and there's a big difference to that, guys. When you buy, you know, liabilities with earned income versus buying it with passive income, and we're going to teach you how to create that passive income so you can do this.
Difference.
So
the biggest wealth transfers in history ever happen when there's crisis in an economy, when there's turmoil, when some people are struggling, some people are suffering. A lot of people get themselves all worked up, all shook up and tossed out like a pair of dice. It's sad. It ain't got to be that way. It ain't got to be that way. So if you know what to do when there's turmoil in the economy, these are the best times where wealth is transferred, you know, readily and in great abundance. And some amazing things happening. We can talk about them through the course of your show. But we have amazing things happening with real estate right now where, you know, in the short term, real estate prices are going to go down because of interest rates. And in the midterm, long term, or, you know, what's going to happen to the labor market? Or is labor going to stay the same or it's going to go up? It's going to go up. What's happening to materials? It's going to go up too. It's going up a lot. It's going to go up more. A lot of construction materials are up 40%.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have opportunities now, even in real estate, that if you prepared ahead of time, you can get amazing deals in upcoming months, beginning of next year. I think it's going to be extraordinary deals available that you can buy things way cheaper than they have been. But, you know, after interest rates go back down again, those property values are going to go up because you can't buy the materials and labor in the future for the same prices. So,
well, not even that, Derek. What you're saying is 1,000% spot on. Right now, I'm under contract for 2 properties. Normally, if this was a year ago and the housing market was extremely hot, the sellers would have been like, "Fuck off!" Like because one of the properties that I'm under contract for actually came back cheaper in the appraisal than what we had originally went under contract for. So I was able to get it back to what it actually appraised for. Normally, a year ago, they would have said, "Pound sand, you got to pay that extra $25K that it appraised over. I don't care if it didn't appraise for what you want. I'm going to find someone else that will pay more." But now sellers are kind of being a little bit more humble. They got to take what they can get versus sitting there and be like, "No, I got a bunch of offers. I'm not going to do this." And then the other property as well, it appraised at whatever, it appraised at what it was supposed to, and then the contract stays there. They're not giving me headaches or whatever. And, you know, sellers are a lot more agreeable right now because of the higher interest rates, which is great for you as a buyer because these guys were acting out of pocket the past year and a half, acting crazy. They got 50 offers. I got 10 cash offers. I got this pound sand. Now they don't respond to you. They didn't care.
All the New Yorkers coming down, buying up all the property.
Facts.
This week I had a conversation. Since I last seen you, I closed on 2 more properties.
Nice.
And I have another one that I'm negotiating right now. And this week I had a conversation about this. I feel so confident about the numbers that, you know, I totally agree with what you said about it. And I feel so confident about the future numbers. It's going to be a struggle for a few months. And then things are going to be fantastic, you know, maybe a year or 2 or 3 years from now for sure. And a person asked me if I'd pay $5,000 more. They're, you know, arguing about $5,000. I said, no, I won't. And I said, you know, you're going to walk away from the deal over $5,000. I said, no, you're going to ruin the deal if you need that $5,000. But I didn't say $1,000. I didn't say 500. I didn't say nothing. I said, no, this is what it is. And if you don't want it, I understand. No worries.
The power to walk away, you know, is very powerful, especially nowadays with real estate. But yeah, you know, the interest rates, a lot of people are like, oh my God, should I invest in real estate? This isn't a good time to buy. It's a fantastic fucking time to buy. If anything, as a buyer, you've actually been able to gain some leverage back. These sellers have been acting crazy the past year. You know, when I bought 7 properties last year, and each of the sellers, a lot of the times were pains in the ass as far as like, oh, it didn't appraise. I don't care. You got to pay the difference, blah, blah, blah. But now they're being a lot more humble as far as, willing to come down, willing to negotiate, willing to concede some closing costs or whatever. So this is a fantastic time to buy. But if you listen to what the normies say, they're going to tell you, no, it's higher interest rates, don't buy. Oh my God. But it's like, no, this is when you actually come in because you have a little bit more leverage as a buyer finally.
Even in the car market, man. I mean, cars that were like 500K now are like 400K. So leverage is there once you have the opportunity to buy it.
Yeah.
But what? You need the
just bought a
income.
new car, right?
Yeah, just bought a new car. Actually, I saved 90K on the car because the current car market.
So it's a buyer's market, is what
it
you're
is.
trying to say.
So if you got money from doing the right things we're talking about today, do you know how to handle that and actually get opportunities rather than issues? So
But I don't want to divert what you were saying. I just wanted to double down that, like, what you're saying about real estate and there being opportunities, 100% true, and I've seen in my experience right now.
We're actually saying the same things, including the cars. The dollar has become stronger right now. While they're raising interest rates, you have a stronger dollar. And today you saw the euro go below $1. That you can get more than €1 per dollar.
Wow. Are we more than the euro? Do we officially surpass it?
By a fractional percent, yes. But you get
that's huge.
For $1,000, you get like 997 euros, something like that, 996 euros. So, that's inverted from where it has been forever.
That's crazy. When's the last time we surpassed the euro? I can't even remember.
Actually, I said that backwards. For 1,000 euros, you only get 900 and some dollars. So the euro is worth less than the dollar at the moment. Dollar is worth more. And that hasn't been that way, ever. For
I can't even remember the last time that we were
2015. It was about $1.05, $1.06.
Okay.
But then it went back up to $1.19, $1.22, and then maybe years ago, a decade ago, it's like $1.45.
Yeah.
So it's like the euro is down, a third.
Yeah, I remember when it was damn near almost $2 US dollars for €1, like a decade, 15 years ago, like right around the Iraqi war, like that's when we were really going through it. But yeah, no, man. I mean, there's opportunities for sure.
Cash buyers have more control. If you got cash to buy a luxury vehicle, you're much better situation than you had even a few months ago. You got cash to buy high quality property, any property, you're in a much better situation than you were for a few months ago. That shit's going to get better. Some other things are going to get worse. I don't want to mess up your intro. Some other things are going to get a lot worse. And if you know what to do during tumultuous times, you're going to be a prophet. You're going to make baller money. Is my humble friend Brandon Carter says, you're going to be balling out of control.
Out of control.
But it is a lifestyle choice to be a baller or a faller. If you don't know what to do, I mean, if you knew better, you do better.
If you knew better, don't know what you would do better.
Facts.
Can't help stupid
in a recession.
Yeah, no, of course. I'll hit some. I think a few chats just came in. I'll read these real quick, and then we'll get into the first. We're going to talk about 10 things, guys, that you need to have in place to be able to accomplish during this recession, so you can come out on top and not end up like everyone else.
Let's get it.
Richard Hart gave me Derek Moneyberg vibes. Both Max, and that's from Leon VRP. Yep, definitely both Max. Please get My House is Dirty on the pod, guys. They're in Miami right now. Would love to know more about them. That's from Raul. I don't know who that is.
Me either.
Leon VRP goes, Derek, thoughts on Andrew Tate?
Thoughts on Andrew?
I don't know the man. I never met him in person. The sound bites I have heard from him, I know that you guys know him. I know he knows him.
That's my guy,
Some of the sound bites that I heard from him, I think he makes a lot of good points. I think he has a lot of smart points. And I think the main point that any reasonable person would think of is, there's a lot of people out there that are trying to suppress like natural male behaviors and like natural masculinity. And I mean, the people have spoken. The people want to hear about reality. The people want to hear about what are the things that get results in real life, whether that be in business or in your romantic life or however you're going to live your life. And Tate and I also both into MMA. He's a great kickboxer, and a lot of my friends are world champion fighters. Just today, I was training at one of the pro gyms down here and getting a little kickboxing. So no, I got nothing bad to say about the guy.
Nah, that's my guy. I know Tate
right
for like 4 years, like before the fucking virality and everything. Like I've known him personally, and if I know him, they planned for this. Like this is not a surprise for them.
Yeah,
and they have things in place. They've been planning for this. They're gonna be just fine. You'll see.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they were multimillionaires before this stuff. For all the haters out there, like, oh, they're gonna go broke now, bro. Trust me, they were making money way before this shit. And also, guys, if you click the link in my bio on my Instagram, UnplugFit, I got the petition to sign to go ahead and get Andrew Tate back on Instagram. And I know that something went down with his YouTube. We're looking into it, but shout out to him and Tristan. Leon VRP goes, second by second, you're losing the opportunity to become the person you want to be when you're going to stop making excuses and take charge of your fucking life. Rest in peace, Greg Plitt. Yes, I remember that quote. That's legendary. 5-star sports betting. Brandon, been watching your content since your park workouts and the P90X style video. I'm glad you upload again. Keep up the great work. Who's Bella? Hashtag who's Bella? Never heard of her. Okay.
I don't know who Bella is, but listen, yo, congratulations. Good for you. I'm sure that information has served you well throughout your years.
$5 from Mike goes, Take out ban in YouTube. They don't want us to succeed. Yes, they don't, guys. Information like this is going to make you free, and they don't want you to be free. They want you to be a wage slave, my friends. $5 from this guy, 9947 goes, can we get a breakdown of the DEA Special Agent Enrique Kiki Camarena case on FedEt? Yes, I'll write that down. I will break that down for y'all. And I'll also do the Jaime Zapata case as well. He was also killed by Mexican cartel people. JP, I thought Derek was Skippy. LMAO, you guys. KVBVL. Yo, guys, with Andrew Tate being banned from social media, I think you guys and the Tate should discuss creating a new social media site called Manosphere. I don't know about that.
That'd be a horrible name.
Yeah. YB goes, homegirl at work
Sausage
was
fest.
overhearing the pod, and I ended up putting her on. Shout out Myron and Chris for answering DMs too. Can't wait for this info. Got you, my friend. Glad to, if we can help some girls, it'll be great. John Doe goes, can y'all cover the China collapse? Most people are saying in the next 30 days they will collapse, in 5 Chinese stocks being delisted from the U.S. We can cover that as well during today's broadcast. Good point. Thomas, I'll make a note of that real quick.
Thomas Bell
goes, shout out to Meow Mix Poppy, Meow Mix Poppy, White Boy Braid, and Victory Vlogs. Brandon knows the score. Most influential person in my life in relation to success. Shout out to you, Thomas.
Shout out to you,
And,
Thomas.
Last 3 here. Monkey DU sub goes, what's up, FNF? I got 3 of y'all shirts. Make some anime merch, please, or I'm gonna flip this table. Don't worry, we got new merch coming for y'all. CRODD, love from the Netherlands, and free Andrew Tate. Thank you so much. And then we got John the Don, $10. Hell yeah, let's all buy Derek's online courses. Woo.
Well said. Well
Okay,
said,
thank you,
John.
sir.
Well said, John.
And a link is below if you guys want to get in there. But what else? And then, guys, from this point forward, I'm going to read 20 and up, just so that we can make sure that we get through this for y'all. Do you have a plan? Andrew Tate has been wiped off. Don't worry, we got plans. Minor Brand, and that's from Eldrick. Okay, and then we got 5-star sports betting. Minor Brandon, would you ever get involved in the YouTube boxing? RP versus BP would be so fire. Probably not. Mr. Freedom Speech. YouTube just announced they banned Andrew Tate as well. Free the top G. Love from London, UK. Keep it the great work, guys, until I die.
He'll
We
be
got
fine,
y'all.
bro. He'll be fine.
Trust me, he'll be fine, guys. And we'll be in the UK next month, by the way. We got a couple of interviews that we're going to do out there. Monkey D. Luffy. Shout out to Brandon Carter for high value alpha baller.
You're welcome.
Yes, that was a great free product, guys, that
Free
actually
course,
teaches you how to make
just,
money.
Yeah, just for HTT, it was more about mindset.
Mhm.
It wasn't about like Derek gives you like their actual like real tactics, but mine was more about just having the mindset
To be a winner.
of a baller, man. A winner baller mindset. And people, I've heard a lot of great things about it. I only gave it to the Fresh and Fit audience, man. So
And thank you for making that for the
Yeah,
people, man. Midnight goes, let's go ninjas. Y'all got to let a short man outwork y'all. My hashtag Money Mondays. All right, cool. Awesome. So guys.
And last one.
Oh shit, Michael Trulsi in the fucking house. Wait, hold on.
He's in here.
You were supposed to donate just $1, bro, to keep up with the tradition here. You have to prove it. He's in the back, bro. Your Jewish card is revoked. It's revoked, sir. He's in the back right now, man. Shout out to Trill, man.
That's funny.
I'm here to prove I'm not a cheap Jew. Go Brandon, Derek, Myron, and Fresh. Honored to be here.
I think you used my corporate card. I think I paid for this.
That's on the Amex.
It's Amex, okay. All right, so Brandon paid for it. All right. It's a business expense.
A marketing expense.
There you go, man.
You write it off.
Shout out to you. And so, guys, we got 3,300 of you guys in here. So, real quick, before we get into the 10 things that you need to have in place to be able to survive this recession and thrive in it, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, subscribe to Brandon Carter, guys. He's back on
I'm
YouTube.
back on YouTube.
You want to tell him real quick about that before we get into the 10
Bro,
topics?
I'm back on YouTube. I took 2 years off to ball on these hoes. And now I decided to re-engage my YouTube audience. So if you fucked with me before, or you fuck with me now, fuck with me on YouTube. I'm back there posting once a week at least. And today I just put up a video where Myron, you know what I'm saying? Myron's in, and we talked about how I used to coach him with his online fitness business.
Yep.
Before he left the Homeland Security. Right.
Yeah. When I was still an agent.
When he's still an agent, he joined my program, made a bunch of money, then decided he wanted to quit that job because, or they kind of forced you out. Because
Yeah, they basically were like,
said,
we don't like your YouTube.
Yeah, you can't.
Resign or quit your YouTube stuff. And I picked obviously the entrepreneurship side.
Man, he picked y'all. He picked y'all over his career, right? But he had enough money to do that because he was making so much money
Yes.
with the online fitness
100%.
business. So we tell that story on a video that went
100%.
up today on my YouTube channel.
That money was responsible for being able to invest, because the money I made from the fitness business is what I invested into the studio predominantly. And then
Come
I
on,
was
man.
living off my government salary. So
Come on, man.
Absolutely.
So like if y'all want to hear more about that story, click that Go to my YouTube. That video went up today. And I
We'll put the link in the description for y'all.
Oh, thank you,
We'll
man.
put the link in the description for that interview, guys. It was a great interview
Shout out
between
Short
me and
Captain.
Brandon shooting the shit. It's like a normal conversation, honestly.
Because we've been boys before this
Way
shit
before.
even started, before
Yeah.
Fresh and Fit started. And then I met Fresh. And then, Fresh inspired me to buy way more jewelry. Like,
Glad I inspired you, bro.
He
Glad
had
I
me.
inspired you, man.
I was like, God damn, I'm looking like a bum compared to Fresh, I only got one. My Rolex don't even have that many diamonds in it. So I had to like step up. So it's good to meet y'all, brothers, man. I mean, not to meet y'all, but it's good to see you guys, what y'all built, man. And I love the community y'all built. Like all the fans, they've been dope. Like even while I was away from YouTube, the fact that I can still come on here and interact with your audience, it's been really inspiring. It was what made me want to come back to YouTube. Actually, the Fresh and Fit audience,
That's
like
awesome.
the guys watching that, they wanted me to come back. That didn't want me to come back. They inspired me to come back, and it's been a beautiful thing, man. It's been a great experience so far. So
Awesome.
Shout out to all the supporters, man.
Yeah.
Everybody in Discord, Reddit. Oh wait, Reddit's gone. Everywhere in the world. Shout out to y'all, man.
We're gonna get
Merch gang.
y'all back up. Don't worry. But other than that, guys. Okay, so from this point forward, guys, $20 and up super chats will be read. Everything will be shown on screen. However, so we'll get into the first one. So the first thing, guys, is going to be the thou shalt negotiate.
Negotiate.
So do you want to go ahead and you guys? I'll turn it to y'all.
Yeah, I made a course. It came out a few months ago called the 10 Commandments of Wealth.
10 Commandments of Wealth.
And Brandon and I, we worked on business things. We helped each other with business for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And Brandon told me, you got to come on Fresh and Fit. You got to come on Fresh and Fit,
mhm.
and told me about Money Mondays. So you guys invited me on about 3 months ago, about exactly 3 months ago.
Yeah.
A fiscal quarter, as it happens to be in the stock market. And man, your audience loved that so much. And
we predicted a recession. I remember you predicted it. You're like, yeah, we're gonna hit a recession, and here we are.
All the data is there.
Yeah.
All the data is there, and here we are.
Mm.
And they're redefining the. You see that they're trying
The
to
White House.
redefine, like everything else in life. They're trying to redefine what things mean, and they're trying to redefine what a recession is. Well, for longer than any of us have been alive, a recession means you had negative growth for 2 consecutive quarters. Meaning that the economy is shrinking, meaning there's less economic activity happening in your country. So it's been that way forever. So here we are. They can say whatever they want, the official statistics, but inflation was 9.1%. Last numbers were 8.6% from last month, or the most recent numbers. And so you still got, and the real inflation, this is stated numbers. So the real inflation's 12,
Even higher.
13%.
Last time
12, 13.
me and Derek came on here and said it was going to happen.
Yeah.
We said it was going to happen. And now it has officially happened.
I seen a survey this week. They're saying that they surveyed 700 executives in major corporations, and that 50% of them are going to be cutting staff. They're going to be cutting. They got job cuts, and of the other 50%, many of them have job freezes. They're not hiring any new people. They're not cutting their staff yet, but they're not hiring any new people. So, we'll talk about negotiation in just a moment, but if you don't understand the circumstances in which you're in, like how are you going to negotiate the best deal on a house? Or how are you going to negotiate the best deal on a watch or some jewelry if you don't understand what the hell is going on in the economy? So you have to understand some basic things that are happening in the marketplace around you where, I mean, unfortunately is Ms. Myron said earlier, like, for those of you that got a job, you poor thing.
I'm sorry, what?
You poor thing. One of those job things that like poor people have. One of those jobs. If you only got one source of income and it's your job, there's a very good chance you're going to lose that. And it don't matter if you went to college. It don't matter if you got 20 years experience. If you got more experience, it might be paying your ass more. They might cut you first.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They might cut you first because you're more experienced, because they can hire somebody else that they think can do your job for cheaper.
In 2008, the Great Recession, right? I had got a job. I had 4 jobs. One of them was security guard at the Prada store. There was 2 guys who had been working there for maybe a decade.
Oh shit!
They bring me and White Boy Brian in. That's my guy, White Boy Brian. That's his real name. It's not a racial thing. It's just
a government name.
That's what's
White
on
Boy
his
Brian.
birth certificate.
First name White Boy.
And they brought us in, and they had those 2 old timers like train us to be security guards. I wasn't about to fight nobody over that shit anyway. Yeah, sure, I'll stop them. Anyway, we were doing all that training, and then as soon as they felt like we were trained, they let those guys go.
Wow.
Because they hired us for cheaper. So it's just like Derek says, that's what happens in recession. That's what's happening now, and it's going to continue. So even if you got a job, you are not safe if it's your only source of income.
Yeah.
You got to have other things going. Like you had a job and you had to leave. Remember, you had to leave.
Yeah.
Luckily, you had your business, and then you had some investments.
Mhm.
So you were all right.
Yep.
But what if you weren't, though?
Yeah, it would have been bad.
Seriously, it would have been bad.
Yep.
But because you took the advice that we're going to be giving here on the show, right, and you were implementing a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about today, not only did you survive, you were able to thrive, right? You were able to invest that money not only in assets, but also into this podcast that we're watching now. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen to y'all. Otherwise, you're going to be all fucked up, right? But if you listen to what, listen, when it comes to all things financial, Derek's my go-to guy, right? I know about business, especially the fitness business, but that's a very narrow domain that I live in. But anytime I'm spending, over $100,000 or like around that range, I hit Derek up first. All right, what do you think about this, right? Because he's like the king of finance. That's why I'm so excited for him to be here talking to you guys.
And that wasn't accidental. That's, I only started 35 years ago thinking about money.
Yeah.
I only made my first entrepreneurial money as a child, literally, I was 7 years old when I started making money, looking for entrepreneurial things to do to create more income. And I lived my life that way. I had a couple jobs when I was a teenager, but I quit my last job when I was 19. I haven't had a job for almost 25 years. In December, it's going to be 25 years since I had a job, which calls for a celebration.
Yeah, it is.
And I had that in my head very early that you need multiple income streams. You're living that now. You built a business. You got one of the most fun and well-respected podcasts in the world right now.
In history.
True.
Right?
We're trying. We're trying. Number one for men for sure. That's our goal is to be the number one place guys can come to and get information as far as improving
And controversial.
And Lambos.
that too.
And Lambos.
That's the great shit about entrepreneurship and investment, and tying together the pieces that you and Brandon were talking about. Like, it's okay if you got a job for a while.
Yeah,
it's okay to have a job.
Not wrong
for
with
a
it.
while.
No, it'll fund
It's
your.
better than being broke.
Yeah,
it's way
It's better than being broke. Okay, get 3 jobs for a little while if that's what you got to do.
I had 4,
but get 4. Goddamn it! Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. If you want to aspire to be a rock hard titan like Brandon Carter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you want to fuck your arm. You want to fuck your hand up.
Yeah.
You want to be careful.
If you're going to be fucking Iron Man here like Brandon Carter.
Black Iron Man.
Get 4 jobs.
Get
4 jobs. But don't fucking keep them. Don't fucking keep them, You're the point of having the job, like, you work hard so you have the resources to invest in education, and you get the education so you can go find, additional income streams, entrepreneurial income streams. And by the way, even if you want to have a job, if you like your career, maybe you said, Derek, I went to college. I'm specialized in this or that area. Well, that's cool. I am too. I got 3 college degrees. I spent 9 years in universities, but I didn't do it to get a job. I didn't go to graduate school at University of Chicago to get a job. I went to graduate school at University of Chicago to be a better investor. So I'd never have a job,
Yeah.
But if you have a job in the short term and that helps you, find the support the educational opportunities to invest in yourself to learn how to do better, guess what? Later on, you're at least going to have some raises and promotions. Yeah. And if you continue down that path, later on, you're going to find some income streams outside of that, just like all of us did. And there'll be a point, and I think this is a point that you've gotten to in life that we have, and I think that you gentlemen have as well, that there's a point where you're making enough money from entrepreneurship and you've invested that, in other assets, in real estate, in stocks, in other assets, that just like, when you make enough money from entrepreneurship, you don't have time to show up for your job anymore.
Yeah.
And if you make enough money from your investments, you don't have time to do anything in your business unless you love doing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you'd put in the hours that you are if you didn't really enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. No, you have to.
I don't think you'd put in those hours if you didn't actually enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that is the dream, guys, is like, if you're making money off your investments, you're making enough money from your investments that you ain't got to do shit if you don't want to.
If you don't want
then
to.
you get to do the things that are fun that you want to do.
Yeah. And I think that's very important that people understand that you work the jobs now, right? And you basically, what you're doing when you work really hard up front, guys, is you're buying your time back later on.
Yep.
Is what it really comes down to.
Absolutely.
So, okay. So do you want to hit on negotiation real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first commandment, in my course, I created a master class about business. It's called the 10 Commandments of Wealth.
10 Commandments of Wealth.
We could have called it the 10 Suggestions.
Nah.
But you wouldn't get anything done.
10
we could have called it the 10 bitch ass things to do if you're not feeling like a broke, weak hoe today. We could have called it that.
We thought about it.
I didn't make the program for people committed to be a weak, broke hoe.
Nah.
Or broke weak hoe even. Neither. I made it for people that are serious about having better financial outcomes.
Yeah.
And the first of those 10 commandments, I'll give you a primer in here. Now, in the course, I spent 5.5 hours discussing, detail about negotiate things you need to know about negotiation to be able to negotiate for raises, promotions, negotiate real estate deals, negotiate, automobiles, jewelry, to negotiate anything you want in life, to negotiate better relationships, better business partnerships, better friendships, to do more of the shit that you want to do instead of the weak ass shit that you feel like you have to do.
How many hours is the negotiation module alone?
Just that is 5.5 hours.
5 hours just off
5.5 hours.
Because it's a lot to cover.
Well, people pay me a lot of money for help with that. I have several clients that paid me over $100,000 to help them with something specific in their life, negotiation related. So I wanted to put that in a course that's accessible to others, this low enough price point that it's accessible to anybody who's serious. But I want to make that point. We're going to dig into this course. It's only for people who are serious about a better life. If you're a dabbler, success is not for you.
It's not for you.
Success is not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
Success is not for everybody.
Right.
Big ass biceps with lean muscle tone like that. It ain't for everybody.
It ain't for everybody. Listen, somebody got to mop shit up.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody got to sweep shit. Like somebody got to do it. Right. And that's cool if that's like who you want to be. Like I'm not gonna hate on you for that. I'm the custodians who work in my building, they do a fine job, and I got a lot of respect for them. But and if that's the outcome that you're pursuing, then this is probably not for you. This course not probably not for you at all.
So with negotiation, it's obviously like a critical component because everything you do, guys, honestly, is a negotiation. Whether you're trying to, you're dealing with your boss and trying to get a better wage, you're trying to close a real estate deal and you're trying to, go back and forth as far as like a price or closing costs, whatever it may be. Everything in life is a negotiation to some degree, whether you know it or not, guys. So I would ask real quick, Derek, when it comes to negotiation, what are some things that people should keep in mind when they're trying to negotiate and put themselves in the best position to close a deal?
Yeah.
I think, leaving your ego out of it, that we all like to make jokes and talk a lot of shit.
It's really important.
But in a negotiation, when you're talking about money, it's not a place to, this is not a place for a big ego. It's a place to be well informed and look at facts. Like, something that you and I both know a lot about is housing market.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking at making an offer on properties, you'd probably like to have some comparable sales. Like, what have other properties like this sold for in the area?
Bam.
And you'd like to know some things about, trends in the marketplace of what's going on in the global economy, what's going on in the, your country's economy, what's going on in your state, your region, your neighborhood, etc. If you don't know those things, if you don't have a sense of where things are going, you don't know if you're paying a good price. You might be paying a good price right now. I frankly think that there's going to be better prices in months to come. There's going to be a lot of properties that, you can find one-off deals right now that are spectacular. But in general, I think things are going to be trending down in the short term. And, a couple of years later, because of what I said of, higher wages, higher cost of materials, the cost of building a home is going to be a lot more. The cost of building anything is going to be a lot more. And therefore, the property values have to respond to that, at a point when they get inflation under control and interest rates are reasonable again. So, in the short term, there's going to be a lot of downward pressure on pricing. And if you don't understand how to communicate that to someone that you're considering purchasing something from, you're overpaying. You might be overpaying a lot. For a lot of people, real estate is the most expensive thing they buy. A house is the most expensive thing that a lot of people buy on their lifetime. Right?
Yeah.
If you're a business owner, even if you're thinking about rents, if you're a business owner, maybe you're going to be renting some space, or maybe you're just going to rent a place to live in. Do you want to overpay 30%? What else could you do with that money? How much money could you make and compound that money over time? So if you can't negotiate, you're going to be underpaid in your employment. You're going to be overpaying for everything you buy. You're not going to be a successful entrepreneur. That's called bankruptcy. Forget about that. If you can't negotiate, like can you be a successful entrepreneur if you can't negotiate shit? If you don't understand what's happening in the world and you can't communicate effectively about it? So I'd say those are a few bullet points to keep in mind, but that can't be, ego based. That has to be based on facts. You have to understand what's going on in the environment, and how can you be well positioned to respond to that and see opportunities that others aren't seeing, and profit from them.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Oh, my fault.
Good. I'll tell us. I got a story on the importance of not being egotistical when you do deals for the audience. But go ahead, please.
I actually had a negotiation question for you, Derek, because I've been doing sales in some capacity for the majority of my life, and I got really good at getting the best deal for me. But what I would notice with some of the people I would do business with, they would end up not as bought in because they weren't getting enough. So I actually had to scale down my negotiation skills so they felt like they were still winning. Right? It's like I got too good. Is there a point of diminishing returns where like you can maybe out negotiate someone to the point where they're not interested in even if they commit, you might get what you want, but you might not get what you need from them.
What I'm hearing you say is you just broadened your understanding of, there's more elements to a negotiation than just price.
Exactly.
Yep. I don't like the cheapest shit.
Yeah.
I like value. When I'm negotiating something, I want high value.
Yeah.
I don't mind if there's high cost as long as there's high value.
Yeah.
I don't want cheap. I don't want free. Think if we had to make a medical decision, like, would you like to have with no other information, would you like to go to a doctor that has $10,000 laser eye surgery or free laser eye surgery? With no more information, what would you prefer?
I don't know. The free shit might be like,
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Yeah.
I'd be delighted to pay for that. You know? If your back was sore, you had to go to your doctor and get a penis reduction. Would you want to have $25,000 penis reduction or free penis reduction?
That's true, man.
Yeah.
I went to the best doctor I could find in Miami because this goddamn thing, was dripping in the toilet, shit like that,
Tripping on it when you're trying to jog.
What are you talking about? Okay, pause, man. No, but I would argue though that when you negotiate, right? For example, you got to add value. So when it comes to networking, especially, like if the person doesn't feel like they're getting a good deal as well, then that's not a good deal because both sides should have a winning party on each side.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
You can't have long-term outcome. You can't have sustainable outcomes without that. Like it has to be a win-win. And the more valuable you could make yourself, the more useful you could be to others, the more people you're going to be able to help, and the more people are going to want to do business with you or make deals with you or, just have you in their life. Because if you're useful, you're valuable, you're easy to get along with. I like to think about long-term consequences, and I like to have high-quality relationships. That why would if you and I have similar values, so we're basically making a moral agreement that like you're not going to fuck me over and I'm not going to fuck you over, right? And then we have similar goals, so we're like all right, we trust each other, we're not going to do each other dirty in some way, and then we have similar goals that we trust each other and we both want to go over there. And if we have differentiated skills, then there's some things that you're great at that would be very valuable to me, and I'd rather not learn all that shit myself. There's some things that I'd be great at that'd be very valuable to you. This is the foundation for a beautiful relationship.
That's like me and Myron.
Yeah, it's a foundation for a business or a fantastic friendship, or it's a foundation for romantic relationships as well. Like if you're a piece of shit and all you're thinking all the time is like, man, what can I get from somebody else? What can I take? That's like a bum. It's like a beggar, looking for change. Like, can I have a quarter? Can I have a quarter? I need $2 for beer. Like, who's going to want to fuck with you long term?
Yeah, there's a value exchange there.
And I'll say this real quick too, just to break down the importance. And I got some numbers here for y'all that I took some notes. The importance of like putting your ego aside. So back, 2020, I was negotiating for a house. It was a duplex here in Miami. I won under contract for $368,000 for the house, right? House was cash flowing pretty good. I was like, awesome, this is going to be a good deal. However, the appraisal comes back at $337,000, right? So I'm like, oh shit. It's over, it's significantly down. I'm going to have to pay the difference, because guys, remember, the bank is only going to give you 75% of what it appraises at. So they're only going to give me to cover to 337, not to what we went under contract for 368. So I had a decision to make. Am I going to go ahead? And I already didn't like the seller. We had been going back and forth. he was, this is back in 2020 when the market was on fire, sellers were being assholes, whatever. I personally didn't like him. He pissed me off, right? On a couple of the conversations that we had, I felt like he was trying to nickel and dime me, whatever. So I was mad and I wanted to walk away. But my real estate agent's like, whoa, hold on one second, bro. Let's take a drive around the neighborhood. So we drive around the neighborhood. We see that a New York investor is about to buy a big lot down the street. We see a train line being built. We see that there's going to be some gentrification. And this is right when people from New York started migrating here in waves. So I said, you know what? Even though I don't like this guy and he's pissing me off, I'm going to go ahead and buy this thing over the appraisal price. Okay, which was actually one of the best decisions I made because it ended up costing me a little more. I think I paid like 10 or 15K more out of pocket. However, that house now, I bought it for, we ended up negotiating it down to 358K. So 368 was a contract, appraised at 337. He met me, somewhat in the middle at 358. That house now, guys, is worth 488. Yeah. So $130,000 in the past 2 years about.
Nice.
So that right there, right, is I was able to take my emotions out of it, look at the whole deal objectively, and come to the best conclusion. Even though I don't like this guy and I'm going to have to overpay right now, it's going to pay back dividends later. And now that house is appreciated significantly at $130,000 over what I paid for it in less than 2 years.
That's good.
That really makes the point that your ego has no place in business this way.
Yeah.
I had a person similar buying a property. The person was very adversarial. The seller, he's a surgeon. He thinks he's brilliant, and he probably is brilliant in his thing, but he thinks he's brilliant at everything, and he's kind of an asswipe,
Hubris will kill you, man. It will kill you in business.
This guy, when we're negotiating a multi-7-figure deal, and some things he just tried to poke at you, and any counter offer would have like a couple insults, like intentional insults attached to it. And he'd say, he'll reduce the price, but the realtor is telling me, but he insists that you take care of his garbage, that he's going to leave whatever he wants to behind, and that you'll take out his trash. And those
are the worst ones, man.
I love it. I wish I found 20 more guys like this. I hope he owns some other property. I'd work with him again, because the way he talks, like the realtor's like, I'm going to talk to him. That, he shouldn't speak that way, this or that. I said, don't say a word. Don't say a word. Just tell him I'll take care of his trash. This is my counter offer, and I'll take care of his trash.
Use it to your advantage.
I saved about $300,000 that way. That he was such a pain in the ass. If you just looked at the deal a little different, he could have done this very different. And he's demanding a cash buyer. The place needed a little repair, so it's hard to even get a loan for a property that needs repairs. Like a bank don't want to give you a loan for something that you're immediately going to remodel. They don't want to do that shit.
Yeah.
So minor repair is okay. This is a major renovation, So anyway, the guy was putting himself in a corner that there's very few buyers that had the money to be able to do a cash deal for this type of money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, I'll take care of your trash. You think I'm gonna take care of the fucking trash? You know what I did? He left so much stuff behind. We sold some of the stuff on the internet for about $7,500, $8,000. So I got
Nice.
something like 8,000 back.
Bam.
Maybe it cost me $1,000 to pay somebody else to remove the rest of it. And I literally I saved $300,000 on the property from what it really was worth. And then I got some money for the stuff that he left behind. And I'm like, I wouldn't care if he took a warm shit on the floor on the last day before closing. If I walked in and there was a warm shit to welcome me to new property, like for 300 G's, yeah. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm not going to pick up that turd.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Bam.
So, it's when somebody else is treating you a little nasty that way, if it's a one-off deal, it's not necessarily, let their ego work against them, but don't let your ego work against you. Like, look at the numbers, look at the facts. And, just summarizing that, this is 5.5 hours. That could be a standalone course. There's 5.5 hours in there where I explain in detail, numerous negotiation strategies, numerous case studies, sort of like we've just talked about, that are going to give you a lot broader perspective of how to get a raise, how to get a promotion, how to get a fat ass bonus check from your current employer, how to negotiate with vendors or contractors to get things done, in your private business. Make sure you don't pay too much. Make sure that you're getting high value for whatever you are paying. Make sure you're getting great value for that.
Especially in relationships.
Yeah,
for sure.
Don't get finessed.
Yeah.
So we covered. So we still got 9 other points to go, guys. But negotiation is extremely important, which is why we spend quite a bit of time on it.
Yeah.
But the second thing now is leading and managing effectively. Can you talk about that real quick?
I mean, if you can't lead yourself, ain't nobody going to follow.
Come on,
Max.
If you're a disaster, if you're not holding yourself to a high standard, who the hell else is going to look at you and say, man, I need to be with that guy. I need to be doing something with that guy. So, if you don't understand how to manage resources effectively, and you don't understand how to lead other people. What's the opposite of a leader? What do they call those? Is a loser? Follower. Is that what they call it? A follower?
Yeah. Sounds right.
You can be. That's how you're going to spend your days. Is like be following around. It's like like a little dog sniffing a big dog's butthole or something.
Yeah,
get a little
just like that.
Get a little whiff of.
Yeah, smell a little butt.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's a lifestyle choice. I'm not telling you how to live your life.
Nah, man. If you
I'm not
like
telling you how to
smelling
live your life.
butt, then like I get it. You know, it's not,
Hey,
some people are into some weird shit, man.
if you're a booty sniffer,
Mhm.
it ain't for me.
Mm-mm.
It probably ain't for none of us.
Yeah.
But hey, if that's what you're into, I'm not trying to judge you, man.
Nah, man.
I'm just saying, if you're not a booty sniffer, if you prefer to not run around like a weak dog sniffing the
dog.
big dog's ass,
Yeah.
hey, maybe you could be the big dog.
Get your ass sniffed.
Maybe you could be the big dog and get your ass sniffed. Maybe you could be the big dog and get your ass
Yeah.
sniffed.
That's what it's
Well
all
said.
about. That's what it's all
said.
about.
That's a W analogy.
That's what we're all.
It's a lifestyle choice.
Listen, you either sniffing ass or getting your ass.
Success is a lifestyle choice. If you're in America, if you're in a first world country, poverty is a lifestyle choice. People
a fact.
somehow that became
True.
controversial. People get upset when I say that. So,
People get mad at me for saying it.
I grew up poor.
Yeah.
You grew up poor.
Yeah, I'm in Southside Chicago.
Man, I didn't want to stay that way. I sufficiently disliked my circumstances. I was like, fuck this.
Nah, man.
Whatever I got to do to make things better, I'm going to do that. And man, I worked. I unloaded trucks. I stocked shelves. I had shitty jobs. I saw like, hey, this ain't the way, and I got to go. You got to go create some entrepreneurial income. So I started building businesses. I started learning about business. Started investing in real estate early in life. Learned about stocks in my 20s. Started making stock market money too. And it's look, if you're not going to lead yourself, ain't nobody going to follow.
Come on, man.
If you can't manage a team, you ain't going to have a team. You're going to be stuck by yourself.
And if
So-
you're by yourself, you can't really move far. Like
Yeah.
you guys wouldn't be where you guys are at without the team.
Mhm.
Without the homies manning the machines back there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it goes back to negotiation.
Audio,
You
video
got to be their
equipment,
best option.
Yeah.
You got to be their best option. If they're
There's a lot
gonna
of stuff.
man the machines back
The
there,
machines.
you got to be their best option. That they're having
Yeah.
fun, they're being well compensated, they're having fun.
It's true.
It's a good environment for people to be in. So if you can't create that environment where people they see your vision and they want to be a part of it. I don't even like the term when people say I'll work for you, Derek. I don't want somebody that I don't want them to work for me. I want them to work for themselves on things that we have, mutual values, mutual goals, and we're going to work on that together to go create better outcomes for ourselves and others.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to create an environment where people want to be a part of it. They're excited to be a part of it. I mean, if I put a post on Instagram that I wanted a free intern, there's no way that there'd be 200 people, any random weekend, be 200 people. I'm sure you could do the same thing.
Yeah.
That if you wanted free help, how many people would want to jump on board with that?
For sure.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty. That's because we created an environment that, it's fun. There's prosperity. They know if they spend time
That's a
with
very
us,
good point.
there's going to be more winning. There's going to be more winning,
More winning.
more
That's
success.
That's not my videographer. He was like, bro, your lifestyle, what you guys do, man, I want to be part of it. And I was helping me with vlogs, and they're fired now because he saw the value. He's bringing value. So now it's equal value exchange.
Yeah, man.
So,
and you're
sure.
helping him build his career, his resume. So if he wants to go do something else or start his own thing, you can help. You can facilitate with that. Like my video guy, Nima, he's new, but I had a Harry who edits the videos. He's been with me for 5 years, but he started his own production company, right? And I've been helping him with that, helping him manage his team. I'm about to start investing in it, but I was just helping him on the side because I wanted him to grow too. So the thing about being a leader is people think that your followers or the people are supposed to work for you, but the truth is you work for them. Right? It's your job to actually lead them. It's more responsibility. If you think about the way when birds fly, long distances, they travel in that V formation. The one at the front is doing most of the work. They fly in that V formation because the aerodynamics makes it easier for the other birds to move forward.
Fantastic
right?
point.
The one in the front, the leader, is working the hardest. Right? He's working for the team. Right. So that's something that I think people need to internalize. As the leader, you should be working the hardest. when Derek says holding yourself to a high standard, yeah, man, you got a responsibility. I stay up at night. You know, when there's a problem, I'm like, okay, man, I know that some of the people who work for me, they got kids, right? I got to make sure they can eat. You know, the people who I coach, I'm like, you know, if something's going on, I got to make sure that they're succeeding. I'm working for them. It's not, I don't look at it like they work for me, even though I'm the leader. That's the responsibility. You get what I'm saying?
I got to double down on that because what you just said is so important and understated. When I was, as you guys know, I was a former special agent with Homeland Security, right? And people don't know this, but whether you work for FBI, DEA, HSI, it's all the same thing. The case agents, the guys that do the actual cases, right? They're not supervisors. The first line supervisor, right, pretty much oversees the group and makes sure that you get the resources you need to do your investigations because, right, you need surveillance, you need money, you need to do electronic surveillance, you want to wiretap somebody, you want to do search warrants, whatever. Everything needs to go through your supervisor to get pushed up the chain so that you can get funding for your case. The best supervisors were the ones that worked for their agents to make sure that their agents got the resources they needed to do their investigations. These big, sexy cases you guys see on the news, racketeering, La Cosa Nostra taken down, wiretaps, all this other stuff. When they do these big roundups or whatever, not only was the lead agent or lead officer a big part of that, but that man's supervisor, that agent's supervisor, was huge and instrumental in getting him the funding and support he needed, right? The 100 bodies plus to go ahead and round up all the people, the wiretaps, the funding, all this stuff to go ahead and make that happen. So as a supervisor, you have to work for your people to get them what they need. And that is the importance of being a leader. When you're just sitting there giving out orders and you're not helping out or making their job easier, you're not really a leader. And when I had plenty of good supervisors that I worked under, they pretty much, any good supervisor I had when I had a big case, they essentially was it like, yo, I'm here for you. I'm here to make sure that you get what the hell you need for your cases. And that applies. I gave y'all just a law enforcement example, but there's many other professions where this still stands.
You know, somebody just typed in this. I know I'm only supposed to read the $50, $100 super chats, but somebody said a good point that the birds, they rotate positions. You got to be able to do that sometimes. So even as the leader,
for sure,
you got to be able to let people on your team be in charge of certain things.
Yeah.
For example, me and Trilstein, we might come up with a plan. And by the time we come up with the plan, he executes it. And then on certain things, he tells me what to do, even though I'm the boss, right? Because I give him that authority. So we do the rotate just like the birds do. That was actually a good point. That's why you have to take your ego out of it, the way Derek said. You got to be able to trust your team when you put them in the position to make shit happen. All right, you got this? Cool. And then, you know, everyone plays their position. You get what I'm saying? It's like Michael Jordan passing to Steve Kerr for the winning shot.
You got to create an environment where everybody on the team can win.
Bam.
And that's how these things fit together. The 10 commandments are not 10 loose ideas. It's 10 things you must do to run your business effectively. 10 things you must do if you want to have more prosperity in your life. And some of the comments we made about negotiation and the going into leadership, like you got to be able to create a situation. You're gonna have to negotiate with people to make sure you have the right people on the team, to make sure that you have the right resources for the team, and to make sure that you created an environment. It's your job as the leader or manager. You got to create an environment where when you have the right people and you have the right resources and you're all doing your thing, you're going to have some fun, but you're also going to win. And if it's just fun and no winning, that's not a business. That's a path to bankruptcy. If you're like, oh, I'm just going to have fun with my boys. You might have fun with your boys, but you know, you're probably going to stay broke with those guys. You probably need to find some new people. If
probably need to ride with the winners instead of laying with the losers.
You know, if you could get there by yourself already, you would have already done it. If your current team and your current resources were enough to win at the highest levels, you'd be doing better, wouldn't you?
Next is client acquisition, which is extremely important.
One of my favorite people in the world helped me with that resource inside this program. He's a strong, tall,
handsome,
wealthy, humble, maybe the most humble man.
The most humble person.
Maybe the most humble man I know, a fella named Brandon Carter.
Yeah, thank you. I wouldn't say that stuff about myself, so I'm glad you said it because I'm way too humble for that.
You would never do that.
Nah.
You.
I'm way better than that, Derek. I'm way better than that. I'm way too modest to talk about that.
They'd have to understand how great you are to really understand your humility.
And they'll never really understand, and that's okay. I understand that. I forgive them. They know not what they do.
Fair point.
Yeah. That being said, I teach the module on client acquisition. And I looked at it from the lens of internet marketing, because that's the area in life where I have the most prowess. And in fact, like when Moneyberg was making money, tons of money before he went online, right? Tons of money. And just like we talk about that V formation, when he was first started saying, I'm thinking about doing this thing, me and Trilstein, actually, Trilstein, that's my man. We consulted, like they did all the work, but we consulted. He ran stuff by me because we already had a multi-million-dollar online business. He was just going to take the money. He was making so much money offline. He said, all right, I want to start this thing where I teach financial education to people. And we consulted him on how to put that together. And they did really well for themselves. And it's exciting. So that's why he asked me to teach the course on the internet marketing and client acquisition.
Less than 3 years later, I just got approved for my $25 million ClickFunnels plaque.
Come on, man. How much?
Bam. 25 million, just 25
million. Well, that's not
only 25 million.
Well,
you
can't
years.
Live off that, but that's a start.
It's a start.
Yeah, that's
a good start.
Yeah. And so he commissioned me to teach the part on internet marketing, client acquisition. And, a lot of it is kind of the stuff, I taught you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the stuff that I taught you with the online training, that was more for solopreneurs.
Yeah.
Right. We took it in
scaling it up.
Yeah. On like how to really scale
doing it with a team.
Exactly. It's a because it's a different
Can you talk
game.
about how do you kind of like build up from like being a solopreneur procuring clients to then like scaling up and like doing it on a higher level?
Okay.
Just kind of a bird's eye view. I know obviously you have a whole module on it, but just to give the people some
no
sauce.
problem. When it's just you, it's a little easier because it's less complex.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And you can do things you can do things that you can't do when you have to scale, because you can do the unscalable because you don't have to scale. It's just you only have to feed one mouth.
Yeah.
Right. But now when you have a team, now you have to be able to scale, and that's a different game. It's a different sport. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's two different things. And I kind of broke it down from the lens of building funnels. Like Derek said, he just got the click. How many millions?
Just 25 million.
Okay, 25.
I got the $10 million plaque.
You've been at that
about 18 months. I was eligible for many $1 million plaques. I only got 2. I was eligible for more if I wanted to just submit the paperwork.
Yeah.
But then we got the $10 million plaque. Brandon helped me get that. Brandon helped me get the $10 million plaque after that's about 18, 19 months.
Yeah.
And now we're almost 3 years in. I got the $25 million plaque coming.
Sheesh.
You just got approved in last week.
You've done well for yourself, Moneyberg. You've done well for yourself.
We're not going to say this poor forever.
Come on, man. Listen, man. There's a recession coming. There's a recession here, and I'm trying to capitalize. Anyway, we looked at it from the lens of how to build funnels. And the way I think about funnels is fresh. Most girls, women, do they want to get married at some point and have kids to like a baller covered in diamonds like you? Would that
high value baller?
A high value baller? Is that something they're interested in? Okay. That same girl you're talking about, if you just went up to her on the street, never met her cold, and said, hey, I'm a high value baller, even if she believed that you were, you want to get married? What do you think she'd say? Off the street.
I don't know you, nigga.
Yeah, exactly, right? So even though that's exactly what she wants, I think a lot of women would echo those sentiments. I don't know you, nigga. It's probably the appropriate response under those circumstances.
Yeah.
So you have to work your way up to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys all know that. You guys, when you teach a game, you can't just, even if a girl's attracted to you, you can't just whip your dick out and say, hey, bitch, let's fuck, right? You can't do that. I want to be clear for the YouTube, for all the censorship going on. I said you can't do that. Don't whip your dick out. And Twitch.
Okay, so
Oh, why do we get kicked off of Twitch every time I come on? I told them not to whip their dick out, bro.
You lasted a lot
I'm
longer
giving
this time.
I'm giving good advice. Don't whip your dick out as soon as you meet it.
1 hour in. 1 hour in.
1 hour in.
Okay.
I feel like that was solid advice.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of guys needed to hear that.
Not for Twitch.
Don't whip your dick out. A lot of guys. There's a guy right now. He needed to hear. There's a guy right now with his dick in his hand who was about to whip. Like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to do this.
You might have saved somebody's life, bro. Might have.
Well, we're doing God's work here.
Yeah, no, we definitely are.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm impressed, man. Usually we have to take the Twitch down in the first 10 minutes when you're on here. So that was good.
Hey, man, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning. You
That
guys
was
are teaching me about the internet. And it's
significant.
been great. Listen, you got to work your way up to that. So how do you do that? You have to build trust first, right? It has to be a smaller commitment initially. Can I tell the story of how I put this concept together?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it was me and white boy Brian. That's his name. It's not a racial thing. That's like his name. He goes by that. It's all good. And we were in Las Vegas. And we were going to go to a strip club. And babe, this is way before I met you. Not just like we've been to strip clubs together. She in the back. But it was way before I met you. All right. And we wanted to go to strip club, and then we saw a cab driver outside. He said, hey, you guys want to go to the strip club? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. He said, well, I'll take you for free. I was like, for free? What's the catch? No, that's what we do. So we get there. Boom. We get out. They exchange. He talks to the bouncer. The bouncer gives him something that he can convert for currency later, right? So he got paid. He got paid to take us to the strip club. So, and the strip club was paying, right? So let's take that back to the online world. In the online world, you might pay for leads. You might put out a free thing or something, and you're paying per lead, right? Pay per click, advertising for Facebook, Instagram, or even YouTube, right? It's the same thing, but they were doing it in real life. I just want to draw the parallel, right? So then they get us, we're the lead. We come to the club. Now we still got they pay for us to come, but we still have to
spend money there.
We still got to exchange some currency there, right? So we get in and they let us in for cheap. I don't remember how much it was.
So they made a little bit so
They made
far.
a little bit of money. They might have broke even at this point.
Yeah.
All right. But now we in there. We don't know this place. We never been there before. So we go to the main stage, right? We go to the main stage. As soon as we get to the stage, some chick came out. Her name was, I remember clear. Her name was Cinnamon. I guess her parents named her that because of her hair or something. But
Okay.
is it to the stage? It's Cinnamon.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is. Strip club to the stage. It's like the same voice. Anyway, we get there, and Brian was amazed when he seen Cinnamon. It's like he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe what he saw. I think it was his first time at a gentleman's club, and she get to twerking in front of him. This dude's almost drooling, and then she pulls out her panties. Can I say panties?
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right.
Yeah, I
He
think
pulled out her panties, and then he put like $1 in there. All right, so bam, Brian spends $1. All right, and then he puts a few dollars in there. I didn't. Cinnamon wasn't my cup of tea. She was white. And
Spanish and black only.
I'll take it.
well, listen. Your affinity for Caucasian women has been well documented.
Definitely.
It's without question.
Yeah.
If it was a black girl, you'd have fucking ran out of there. And like, I know how you roll.
Listen, man. I like chocolate too, man.
Stop lying. You fucking racist.
What the fuck, bro?
Last time you fucked a black girl.
I can't say.
Fucking 80s.
I can't see camera.
Yeah.
Actually, no. A couple years ago.
Couple years ago?
We're getting off course,
ago.
guys.
Days ago.
We're getting off course. Getting off topic.
Oh, yeah. Cinnamon.
Sit back.
Cinnamon. Toast crunch.
All right. Yeah, we don't need you lying anymore. Let's get back to a real story that really happened. Okay. So she gets off stage and she comes straight to Brian, right? Because that's what happens. Now here's the thing. Why did she come to Brian and not me?
She don't like black dudes either?
No, because he
Oh.
gave her money.
Yeah,
right?
of course,
So it's
yeah.
easier to sell to someone. I mean, that may be true, but in the context of the story,
Yes.
it's easier to sell to somebody you've already sold to.
Bing.
Right. So she already made a conversion right here. So now she can go ask for a bigger conversion. Right.
Bam.
So she goes in there. She asks him, does he want to lap dance? Brian's like, yeah, of course. He was hyped. And then he did like 2-3 lap dances in a row.
It's a couple $100 now.
Come on, man.
Club is up.
Right. But she picked him because she knew that was a higher probability because he was already a customer.
Yeah.
Right. Let's bring it back to the real world. Let's say somebody buys something like low or cheap. If they like it, if they feel like they got more value than what they paid for it, if they feel like it was worth it or it was even a steal, what would happen is they would trust you. They would feel comfortable paying more for the next thing. You get what I'm saying? People have to feel comfortable. They have to feel like, oh, this is something I can trust.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to give them something small, right? Give them just a little taste, right? Something sometimes where they can experience it at a low barrier of entry. But if you really deliver that value there, then they'll trust you with more of their money.
Yeah.
Because they already know, oh, this is good. This is good. This is good to go. That's why you got 3 Lambos, right? You bought the first Lambo. You was like, oh, this is a quality automobile.
Yeah. 2.
Right? 2 Lambos. My fault, man. Listen,
They're one on the way though.
see, come on, man. Come on, man. I was foreshadowing it. Anyway, what happens when you get 2-3 lap dances in a row?
You busting that?
And or
You want more?
No, she asked you to go to the VIP room. Right, but then she didn't just come out of the woodwork saying, hey, let's go to the VIP room. She worked him up to that.
Yep.
After he experienced the dance that he liked, after he experienced the lap dance that he liked, it was an easier ask, right? And he said, what? Yeah. He went to the VIP room. The night, I used to drink back then, so the night is kind of foggy. I just know that I ended up in the VIP room too. And
okay.
and at some point I left. I ran out of money or something. It was a long time ago if I'm running out of money. Clear. Anyway, I text Brian, like, yo, we got to do some shit in the morning. Where you at? He said, yo, I just left with Cinnamon, man. We in the cab right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I had this weird feeling of pride and jealousy. And I was like, fuck it, I'm out. And I started going, I went back to the hotel room. I checked this out. I walk out the elevator and our rooms were adjacent to each other. I see Brian open the door, no shirt, and he let Cinnamon out. I'm thinking like, oh shit, man, like a few moments, man. You need to
work on the stamina.
Come on, man. You need to fix that. That's got to be embarrassing. And she walked down the hallway, and I'm like, Brian, what happened, man? He said, nah, she wanted like $1,000.
Oh,
right. But here's the thing: she did not get that $1,000. Nope. But here's the point: a lot of guys would have gave her that $1,000.
Facts.
A lot of guys would have
simps.
gave her that $1,000.
Ultimate ask.
Yeah, especially you're right there after that. But she didn't just go up to some random guy and offer him sex for money, right? She worked her way up through that, right? And she almost got it, right? So,
and she had made a couple $100 prior.
Exactly. So I say that to say this: what's the most profitable company of all time? Most profitable company of all time. At one time, it was Apple. Is it still Apple?
Most valuable at the moment.
Yeah. All right. So Apple, right? If you want to get one song off Apple, iTunes is, well, first of all, let's stop here. iTunes is free. Just the software. You can get it on Windows or whatever. It's free. Even if you've got a Windows computer. If you want to get an iSong, how much that costs?
Can you still buy songs?
I think $3.99, $2.99.
Or you get Apple Music or
something like that.
Okay,
subscription
yeah,
service.
most of us have that
whatever.
now. But anyway, you can get songs for like a few dollars or an album. Right now, you got the iTunes for free.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you get an iSong. You might as well get a fucking what?
The Apple Music.
You might as well get the Apple Music.
Subscription.
Yeah, you might as well get the Apple Music. But what you gonna play it on?
iPad.
Shit, iPad, iPhone, right? You know, and Apple does a great job of doing that, working you, like giving you something free in many cases. QuickTime is free.
Yeah.
Some of their software is free, and it's such a good experience. You trust them with your currency that if you actually buy something from them, it's going to work out well for you.
YouTube is an example. Like buying YouTube Red, that you get regular YouTube for free. Then you get YouTube Red. You can't go back to regular YouTube ads, which I don't know if you guys are watching us on YouTube like regular. I feel sorry for you with all the fucking ads. You're better off just getting YouTube Red. You can watch it for free. Watch it with no ads, and it changes your life. And that was a huge upsell.
So the point I'm trying to make is, people think that upsells are negative. They have a negative connotation. However, I don't think of it like that. I think if I can sell somebody something that they feel comfortable buying, and I over deliver, like give them way more than they bargained for, they'll be more than happy to buy the next thing from me because they already know that when they buy something from me, it's quality.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that's the strategy that I teach people to employ, right? You know, because you don't want to just go out asking for your most expensive shit, but they don't trust you. They don't even know you. It's kind of like the guy who says, hey, you want to get married, to the girl he just met. Even if he is the exact guy she wanted to be with, she doesn't trust him enough. She just met him. They don't have a relationship. But what if they go on, okay, exchange Instagram. Maybe go meet for coffee. Maybe go on a date. Yeah. Maybe go on 2 dates, whatever, right? And you work your way up to that because they can trust each other. Does that make sense? So you want to do the same thing in a business context.
Bam. All right. So I'll read the chats real quick, and then we still got 6 more things to go over.
Did I cover client acquisition well, like the way I think about it?
I think so. I think that covers the importance of, gaining the client and then also being able to retain them to a degree with upsells, etc.
Just accentuate the main point there very quickly is, you it's so important when you bring somebody new in your life that they have a good experience with you.
Yeah.
It's so important that you have to over deliver the goods. So the idea is is similar to negotiation, similar to being a good leader, that you have to create a high quality experience. You have to give them much more than they paid for. And in the 10 Commandments program that I created, I focused on exactly that. And it's, if you couldn't find 25 grand, if you bought that program and you couldn't go find 25 grand, I mean, what would you say about somebody like that?
I mean, with all of the information in that program, it's so comprehensive. You got to be able to make some money off of that, off of what you learn. There's no way. If you do the work and
just summarizing those 3 points before we move on is that when you understand negotiation, you're going to get better deals in your life. When you understand how to be a good manager and a good leader, you're going to make sure that you're attracting the right people. You created an environment that attracts the right people that are happy to work with you, that are happy to date you, that are happy to be your partner or your friend, to feel, any availability for relationships that you have in your life. You're going to have the best people around you, not some mediocre people, not some losers. Everybody's got a loser. Everybody here had some losers that you let linger around for longer than you should have. And if you're still doing that at home, and probably you are, man, you're ruining your life.
Yeah.
You're poisoning your life. You're poisoning your success. And when you think about client acquisition, we made this point about that. I came to you for help with looking at, client acquisition for online models. Or how do I reach the right people?
Yeah.
Did I say to you, Brandon, I'd like to work with any old loser, broke ass motherfucker that's dedicated to staying poor and dumb?
Nah, you were very clear about your client avatar.
You got to have, you can only have the right people. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves.
Yeah.
You cannot help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. That's like the definition of stupidity. I can help anybody. I could help anybody who's serious about creating a better life if you're willing to help yourself. But losers, some people are dedicated to stupidity. Some people are dedicated to a life of poverty. And that's not really what we're doing here. So if you're willing to help yourself, if you want to help yourself, we're here for you. And we'll talk more about it after we do this next break.
Yeah. So I'll read these chats real fast, guys.
I'm gonna urinate while you're reading the chat.
Okay, go ahead. Short King Brandon goes, real ballers don't see recession. We see a steal on property and securities. Absolutely, man. You got to look at it as opportunity. Only one, Derek, only one. Yep. And that's from Alex King, all the way from Australia. Thank you so much, $50. And then we got King Strago goes, I have an idea for a business. Want to get your opinion on it. Do you think this is a dumb idea, washing windows for $250 house or small business? What do you think? Should I go for it? The only stupid idea is the one that you don't try, my friend. Then you got Michael Trolstein. Okay, this is on my card, not Brandon's. Top Jew. Okay, shout out to you, Mike Trolstein in the fucking house, man. Then we got $20 from Kyle Padilla. Goes, what are your guys' opinions on skilled labor jobs such as electrician in the future labor market? Good opportunity to make money? Absolutely, man. And I think you should still, do something on the side. Use that skill to acquire a job. Once you have that job, you start to make income. Take that income, put it into a business, and then go ahead and start to go ahead and make two different streams of income. Because guys, having one job is never enough, man. We always say 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Forza 4 goes, shout out to Owen Cook for putting me on to Derek and Brandon many years ago. Would be cool to see him on the pod again for his own full episode and After Hours with the Girls. Sure. Next time he's in town. Armando78 goes, I can buy a triplex using an FHA, but I'm wondering if I should just take out a HELOC on my existing property to apply towards a conventional loan instead. Thoughts on keeping more cash on hand? Nothing wrong with a HELOC, man. They're a little bit hard to get, but if you have a property that you're in right now and you want to do a home equity line of credit, that's a fantastic way to fund your next property. I think it's one of the best ways to do it. If you could pull it off and get good terms, etc., I think it's actually better than a cash out refinance because you're able to go ahead, use that money from your HELOC, purchase another property. You can hold that property for a little bit, refinance, and then go ahead and dump that money back into your HELOC so you don't pay. Praz goes $50. Derek, what do you think about selling options as a source of income? Is it fairly risk adverse if you know what you're doing? You want to hit that?
That's my shit.
And Brandon, I know y'all both trade options.
No, I made over $1 million in the last couple of years just on options contracts, and I love selling options, but you have to know what you do. You have to know what you're doing, and it's.
Can you tell the people what trading options are for those that may not know?
Well, you selling them and not buying them, right?
It depends on the context. So there's 4 types of options contracts. All right, so there's calls and puts, and you can either be buying or selling a call, or you could also be buying or selling a put option. Now, I have a course about this. And in my Markets Mastery course, we spend 10 weeks together. We go through in detail everything you need to know about the stock market to make informed decisions. You're going to spend it's not for normal people. You're going to spend over 200 hours on that. You're going to work your ass off. And there's nothing I can tell you in 30 seconds here that it's going to make you an expert on options. But I made a lot of money with options. Many of my clients made a lot of money with options.
I bought this watch selling options.
Yeah.
Selling calls and puts.
Where did you learn about calls and puts?
From Moneyberg, man. Of course I learned it from you. And this watch was 100% off selling options. My fault, man. Mo was yelling at me because I wasn't close enough. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, no, but it was 100% from what I learned from Derek's course, just about selling options.
If you're serious about making real money selling options, I can help you with that in my course. But if you're not serious enough to do that, I don't recommend you do it because you're probably going to fuck it up badly.
Yeah. Any of that stuff, guys, making quick money comes with crazy risk, man. And we're not going to sit here and tell y'all you should absolutely do it. We could teach you, but you got to understand the risks. Shadow God 25 goes, thank y'all for everything. What y'all do what you don't have to, but what we need. I'm genuinely happy now. My circle better, and I love money talks. Love, no homo, and appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Shout out to Shadow God.
Yeah, you have some?
No, I was just gonna say you do need a mentor in any space that you're going into.
Yeah,
and having someone that's been through that path already is a W for you. So take that chance.
Yeah.
When I was in the bathroom, I thought I had to reflexively. I was going to put the seat down, right? But I remembered that y'all don't like women, so I left it up.
There you go. Bam. Exactly.
That was me to support y'all. I know you guys
appreciate that. As we know over here, we say, "Bam." Why? Just kidding. Oh, it's my notebook. All right, so we're gonna get into the next thing: e-commerce. Can y'all hit us a little bit? And we dabbled on it a little bit, but you guys can talk about the importance of e-commerce.
If you're not making money on the internet, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. There's so many. How many fucking people are making money on the internet?
Come on, man.
Many.
Millions,
kids,
including children.
Yeah.
You got children out hustling you.
Come on, man.
You got children on the internet out hustling you, getting paid when you're not. And I don't mean it to say disrespectfully. It's just a fact. There's children out there that are out hustling. I found $25 million, and I got to help a lot of people. And going back to that to customer acquisition, why did I get that kind of revenue? Why did that kind of money come in? Well, because I found the right people to help. I don't want the wrong people on one of my courses. I don't want the wrong. I can't help some bum that doesn't want to help himself. You're still going to have to do work. And you just said the word mentorship. And earlier today, I was at one of the pro MMA gyms down here. I was at Sanford MMA, and I was training with Ong Lasang. He's 6-time world champion. He's at one championship, 6-time world champion. And this guy is teaching me amazing nuanced things about striking, mostly kickboxing or Thai kickboxing, and in Muay Thai. You can invent that shit by yourself. I'm learning from a 6-time world champion.
Of course.
And I have some foundations, and that's the first time he and I are training together. But I have foundations in that because my main boxing coach is a 5-time world champion. And we work a lot together. I got MMA coaches coming all the time. You know who they are? They're Hall of Fame UFC guys. They're world champion guys. How long would it take to invent that shit by yourself?
Yeah.
I got my blue belt in jiu-jitsu in 7 months. Most people would never do it. If they did do it, it'd take them 2 to 3 years. It's very normal to take 3 years to do that. I did that in 7 months because I was willing to work my ass off, and I had world champion coaches and mentors that are training one-on-one with me. Not like I'm going to their class in a group. Like they're flying to me. We're spending time together one-on-one. But I'm training 20 days per month, and I'm training 50, 60 hours per month, and then the skill set develops. Now, when I wanted to learn about business, did I try to invent? Did I try to invent statistics and invent finance and invent accounting? Or did I just go where they teach that? Well, no, I went to the University of Chicago's MBA program. It was the #1 ranked MBA program in the world because that's what they specialize. They specialize in economics, in finance, the best econ school in the world while I was there. #2 finance school in the world. #3 or 4 in their accounting program while I was there. So I went to learn best practices. I learned finance from Nobel Prize winners. I learned about management from Nobel Prize winners. So, they had people there that were teaching as a part-time job, as a charity, really. They were multi-billionaires, billion with a B. So when I wanted to learn about business, I wanted to learn from who are the best academics teaching this? Who are the best people you could get access to that were real business people that made extraordinary wealth? When I wanted to learn MMA, I didn't go to Bobo's gym. I went to the best people in the world, and I made myself useful to them. I found win-win situations where we're having a lot of fun together. I'm helping them with their financial situation. I'm helping them to invest some of them make millions and millions of dollars in their career, and a lot of athletes don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've encountered that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I'm somebody that they trust. They know I don't want to manage their money. I don't want access to their accounts. I don't want to touch their money. I don't want to touch your money either. But they're happy to take my courses or send their family to take my courses. So, their financial future is taken care of. So, these things are very important that, you have to understand how to make yourself useful to others. You need to be able to provide a lot more value than you take. And if you could do that, customers are going to come back to you. When I have a new customer, I screen so hard that we don't have riffraff coming in. I say from the beginning, don't take my course if you're not willing to work. It's not get rich quick.
It's not get rich quick.
It's not
get rich quick.
If you apply the things in there, if you take the time to learn them and you apply them over time, you might create tremendous wealth over time. I have clients that made multi-millions of dollars. Some of them, 8 million in a couple of years, 2-3 million in a couple of years. You may or may not do that, but a lot of it depends on your dedication. I can point you in the right direction, but if you think you know everything already, then I wouldn't anticipate that your circumstances get any better than they are. Now, you guys asked me if I would discount the program. I had a discount for my existing clients when I first launched that program earlier this year. And you asked me if I'd discount the program again, which I did you had a couple hundred people from your audience that when I was here before, we told them about it. We had a couple hundred people that made a decision for more prosperity, for more choosing instead of losing.
Down the path of better ways and brighter days. They marched down that path.
Made a choice to be a baller, not a faller.
Yeah, champ, not a chump.
A champ, not a chump.
Yeah,
there you have it.
They made a decision.
Could have stayed in the back of the bus, but they want to ride in the Maybach with us.
You know what I'm saying? They went from riding the train from first class on the plane.
Is that link available?
I like these raps. Yeah, it's in the top of the description.
Yeah, they wanted to pump, not dump.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Smart, man. Yeah.
Link is in the top description.
Right,
Go ahead. Sorry.
We tell them what they got to do to find that link and reiterate. It's not for everybody. Who is this for? This serious. Who is this for in your audience? What's the right type of person in your audience that this is a no-brainer?
Guys that want to do better, want to learn how to make money, how to also as well help their family. So it's like most everyone in the chat, man. I mean, you should want to do better for yourself and your family.
So it's only for you if you're a decent man.
Yeah.
If you want to help yourself and your family. So if you're a decent man, it's for you.
Well, I mean, you could see the difference. I mean, we got 4,000 people watching right now, right? Versus when we do a nighttime show with girls, it'll be like, 10 to 15,
20,
right?
15K.
People watching. And, most guys are more interested in, women and bullshit entertainment than like actually becoming better versions of themselves. And this is actually why so many guys fail with women, is because they don't understand that there is an invisible masculine burden of performance. And a lot of guys think, hey, I'm just going to be myself and, do what I want to do. And, the bitches are going to come to me. And guys, I mean, we talk all the time about women being delusional, but some of y'all need to stop being delusional yourselves and understand that if you want to get the life that you want to get, you must work for it as a man. You don't get the privilege of just existing and getting attention from the opposite gender like a woman does. Like,
you got to deserve it.
You got to, yeah.
You got to deserve it.
Best way to get what you want in life is to deserve it.
Come on, man.
So as a guy, you got to get out there and get it, bro. Like, you can't sit there and just rely on your looks like a woman. Like, that's the cold hard reality. And all the feminists might get mad at me, but that's the truth. A woman always has the safety of being able to find a man to take care of her. You don't get that privilege as a man. You really don't.
How many ladies have been on your show over time?
1,500 about.
1,500.
About 1,500. Is it your experience with the 1,500 female guests you've had on your show? Has it been your experience that they're looking for men that are dumb and uninspired?
Dude,
men that are incapable of taking care of themselves,
I'll tell you
their
this,
family.
Those interviews have made me realize how important, like, they'll go ahead and, dress it up with like, I want ambition or whatever. But if you ask her, what's the bare minimum you want your guy to make, dude? I would argue about 85% or better of the women say 100K per year, which automatically, bare minimum, they're like 100K per year. Bro, that puts you in the top 15% of all Americans. That's not just men. So, girls have higher standards, guys. Those studies that came out that women find most men is economically not attractive. And this is kind of what it is. And we tell you guys all the time, you don't make the money to get the girls. You make the money to not tolerate the bullshit that inevitably comes with dealing with the girls. And having the money and having that stability and that confidence from building up a business, becoming a better version of yourself, etc. It creates natural confidence and aura that you can't necessarily fake, that women are drawn to. We've had plenty of trust fund babies that come on and like they don't get girls or whatever it may be here in Miami. We know a couple of them, me and Fresh, actually. And the reason why is because they didn't build the character through struggling and making the money to become attractive. They're just a simple money. And the girls don't respect that. I've always told you guys on this pod, people get mad when I say this shit. All women are fucking gold diggers. Just some are better at hiding the fucking shovel. That's the truth. Whether she's a PhD and says, I want a guy with ambition, or someone at my level education-wise, that's still gold digging to a degree. Or she's just a straight up bimbo. Hey, I want a nigga with a boat. They're going to, at some point, they're going to want some guy that can provide them some kind of value. So you have to produce as a man.
Or she's just smart, right?
There you go.
If I was a pretty girl,
I would do the same.
I wouldn't be with the fucking broke ass
Facts.
dude.
You're right.
Because I wouldn't have to.
I don't blame him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense to if you don't have to. You know what I'm saying?
Even in the real world,
especially in 2022,
you go outside here in Miami, all the guys that have somewhat of money and some type of like value to bring have girlfriends. It's like it's like automatic versus the guys that are like working their way up, can't get any girls at all. So it's just a value exchange.
If you're the type of person that you want a better life for yourself, you're willing to work. This is not get rich quick. This is to learn how to create real wealth over time. It's not the 10 tips or tricks to get rich quick.
Nah. It's not
the
that.
10 commandments. If you want to create real wealth, to be one of those most desired men, you have the financial resources that, frankly, you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Is she going to decide she want to be with it or she don't? But frankly, you can do what you want to do. I do whatever the fuck I want to do. And I have a lot of freedom in my life. And if somebody didn't like it, I bet you there's some other people that would love it. There's some other people that love to get on board.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say anything disrespectful to any females in my life, but I have a fantastic relationship, but with, very smart, younger, pretty, well-educated, graduate degree like mine. She's fantastic. All right. But we also, we had an understanding from the beginning that, like, I'm the leader of that relationship. We're going to do the things that I want to do. I don't ask her to do anything that's not in her best interest.
Of course.
I don't ask her to do anything that's not going to be, beneficial for her future as much or maybe more than it is for mine sometimes. But, it's not, there's a lot of clarity about who's making the decisions. You don't see no arguing or bickering or
I never see
everybody's happy. Yeah. Everybody's happy.
And that's what women want, guys.
You got to get the fuck rid of this drama and bullshit in your life. You're doing that to yourself.
Yeah, man.
You're doing that to yourself. If you got somebody that's not respecting you, that's not treating you right, whether that's your employer, whether that's a current business partner, maybe that's some people in your current peer group, maybe that's a significant other or lack of significant other, because You're not respecting yourself enough to put in the work and earn the best available outcomes in the world. And success is a lifestyle choice.
Come on,
Bam.
man.
Success is a lifestyle. Poverty and being a dumbass, also a lifestyle choice.
In a first world country, you know, I don't know what it's like in the shit countries.
I mean, in the first world
Fresh,
country,
what is it like?
millionaire is a lifestyle
You
choice.
do know Barbados is not a shit country, right? It actually developed. So you can't ask me that question, brother.
I see like pigs in the on the beach.
Because they're food.
Y'all just got food on the beach? The food is running wild on the beach?
Well, I don't know what beach you've been on with pigs, but I'm just saying, like, we're developed. So you can't ask me.
All right, my
There's
fault,
poverty,
man.
but it's not like that crazy.
I got you. My fault, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect your heritage.
All right, so next
if you're
is
serious about outcomes, click that link.
yes,
Yeah.
it's at the top of the description, guys.
If you're serious about better outcomes and you're willing to put in the work, click that link. Click that link.
So next we're on. So we covered quick little recap because we're about halfway. Negotiation, lead and manage efficiently, client acquisition, e-commerce. Now we're at business law.
Foundational.
You know, and if you don't understand the business law, if you don't understand what are the rules that, you know, in which the government's going to allow you to operate, or they're going to shut your bitch ass down, and they're going to say, you petty little bitch, you're not doing that shit in our country.
Mhm.
You're not doing that shit in this state. You're not doing that shit in this city, you dumb hoe. All right. There's some manager in a government office somewhere that's going to look and be like, he did what? You dumb bitch. And then they just shut your business down and maybe raid your home too. Is that true?
Yeah, that could definitely happen. That could definitely happen, guys.
You ever ran up in somebody's home, man?
Plenty of times.
Yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn.
Some manager in the organization made the call. Look at this dumb bitch.
Look at this hoe.
Look at this.
Look at this fucking nerd.
We're not doing that shit here.
Nah.
You can't do that shit.
Send
in our
Myron over there,
jurisdiction.
man.
Send Myron
Send
over there.
Myron over there.
Run up in his bitch ass and rifle through his girl's panties drawer.
You heard? Yeah.
That's what they did to Trump. Actually, they
Yeah.
You
know
did that
what
to Trump?
No, not me. No,
Oh.
not me. But they did it to
All up in
Melania.
Melania's panty
Yeah,
drawer.
yeah,
Oh,
they did.
looking
Yeah,
all
yeah,
through
did
it.
No
that.
respect. No respect
Wow.
for
It's crazy.
the first lady's panty drawer.
They,
Nah, man.
None.
If it could happen to the president, it could happen to you.
Facts. It can happen to you.
Bro,
Nobody's safe.
If it happened
Yeah,
to the
and he's a
president.
billionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's safe, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't understand, serious note, business law, you have to understand, how to limit your liability in whatever enterprise that you're involved in. So depends what you're doing, but a sole proprietorship might be okay in the short term.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if you might need to be involved in a LLC, that's a limited liability company, or you need to know the difference between a C corporation or a subchapter S corporation and the tax implications and the ownership implications involved in that. And, if you're involved in, if you run a legal firm, then you have a limited liability practice, but that's separate. There's a separate type for law partners. So you need to understand the nuances of that. And I have I brought my attorney that is my attorney for intellectual property. It's my attorney that's helped me with some other things in my business. So he's a partner in a law firm, well-known law firm, partner, not a schmuck that just got a job, a partner in a well-known law firm. And I had him explain, the details of entity selection to make sure that you work hard and you build a financial asset. You don't want to lose that shit, because you didn't set it up appropriately. Additionally, he goes through in detail how to protect your intellectual property of, what are trademarks, what are patents, how does copyright work, things of that nature. So you can protect the intellectual property that you create so somebody else can't take your shit and go sell it around the internet back to e-commerce. All these things are tied together. You see how they're all tied together?
Yeah.
You see how they're all tied together, right? If you can't negotiate, if you can't manage and lead, if you can't find clients, if you can't manage those clients well, if you can't, if you don't understand e-commerce, how to make money on the internet, if you don't understand business law, do you have a business if you don't understand those things?
No.
You must understand.
You're gonna have a
those
hobby
things.
because you're not gonna be profitable.
Yeah, you might be fucking around with your boys doing something, cracking jokes for a minute, and you're not gonna be, the legal concept you're gonna be learning is called bankruptcy.
Yeah.
If you don't understand these elements of business, you're going to understand a different legal concept called bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be in bankruptcy court.
Bam. So microeconomics and macroeconomics. Can you explain what they are and then the differences between the two?
Yeah, microeconomics is more what's going on the business level of, what do your inventories look like? What are the situations in your small business or your local market? Macroeconomics has more to do with the labor market in general, in your state, in your country, in the global economy. And you have to look at things like macroeconomic indicators are, what are interest rates around the world? What are currency exchange rates around the world? What's going on at a global level that's going to affect you at the micro level? But then microeconomics is making those decisions at the micro level, given your specific circumstances and the opportunities and threats, facing your business or facing your, investments. Where is your capital best deployed? So that's the real study of economics is, how do we get the greatest return on scarce resources? How do you best use scarce resources to enhance the quality of your life? And if you can't manage your resources well, what's going to happen?
That's a big fucking L if you can't manage your resources, because you never know how long you may have them. Sometimes you might have them for a temporary amount of time, and if you're not able to exploit them at that time, what happens? Missed opportunities, lost a lot, leads to lost funds leads to potential downfall.
Look at lottery winners. They win a bunch of money, can't manage it, budget it, and then they lose all of it. So
over half lottery winners go bankrupt. So if you even if you accidentally get money in the short term, if you don't know how to manage money, you ain't going to have none. You make your situation worse.
Absolutely.
You make your situation worse.
Speaking of money, we got our boy Mike Rashid in the fucking house. What up, homie? Shout out to Mike Rashid. Hope to see y'all in 2 weeks when I'm back in Miami with my 3 girls. Mike, you always got to see this table, my friend. You don't even got to ask. Just let me know when you're going to be here. Shoot me a text right now. Give me the dates, and we'll make it happen and definitely bring you on, bro. We're always happy to have you. Shout out to Mike fucking Rashid, man.
That's my guy. That's my guy, man. I know Mike for so long.
It was 2 girls. That was 3.
Yeah, now it's 3, man. Fuck you, bro. This dude always bringing girls to this thing. This nigga bringing his own, trying to do his own after hours. Fucking guy, man. But
he was on the show before me.
Yeah.
Man.
Did he come before?
Yeah, I think so. Mike always gets the things before me. It's been like that. It's been like that the whole time. Like he gets it, like right before me, he gets there.
Maybe he's better than you, Brandon.
Like that.
Maybe he works harder than you, Brandon.
Yeah, maybe, man.
Maybe,
something.
But yeah, he's always there. But no, Mike's always there.
Mike's a real one, always there.
When everybody give him his flowers real quick on air, when everyone's hating, talking a bunch of bullshit, he was one of the ones that stood strong beside us 10 toes down, man. So shout out to Mike Rashid, friend of the show, friend in real life. We respect the fuck out that guy. Is like the big bro. So when you're here, shoot me a text, man. Let me know when you want to come down.
Solid dude. Like a lot of people,
I don't know how people talk shit about him. Really,
a lot of people are different from their online personas, but guys like you guys, Moneyberg, Mike Rashid, there's only a few who are the exact same person. Who you're watching is who they are, and they're not fake at all, man. That's my guy. Shout out to you, Mike.
Yeah, shout out to Mike.
There you go.
Go subscribe to his YouTube channel, guys. Okay, so my bad, Derek. So we were covering micro and macroeconomics. And then did you hit all the points, or did you want?
If you can't manage your resources, you're not going to have any.
Yeah.
If you can't manage your current resources, how would you be qualified to earn more?
So true.
If you don't understand what's going on in the environment and in the, not just in your neighborhood, on your block, down the street, if you don't understand what's going on in the global environment, how would you make the best decisions in life? And if you can't manage your current resources, that's microeconomics. What are your current assets? What are your current liabilities? What are the tools that you have that you could deploy them for the best use to multiply the positive things in your life and have more of them? And also how to avoid making dumbass decisions that would create more liabilities or more problems in your life. So if you can't make a good economic decision, I mean, you're just fucked. There's not a more polite way to say it. That person you're just accepting to stay dumb, to stay down there, somewhere lowly, somewhere undesirable. Your future is going to be more bleak than your past. There's people on here that I didn't come from the best circumstances. I know many of you didn't. And there's people on here that came from, a rough background. My father was in prison when I was a kid. When I was, 17, I was in county jail for between 17 and 18. I spent 90 days in county jail.
Cook County Jail?
No, downstate.
Okay, different one.
Yeah, we were there at the same time.
No, different jails.
I didn't enjoy those circumstances, so I was like, fuck this shit. I got to do better. If you're okay, maybe you came from a shitty circumstance, but your future ain't got to be shitty unless you let it. And the default outcome, it's not been my experience in life that the default outcome is a palace or a mansion or a penthouse. The default outcome is a pile of shit.
Everything fails is left to its own devices, right? If you don't water your garden, you don't take care of it, what's going to happen? It's going to get fucked up.
Be fucked.
Everything fails left to his own devices. Nothing good happens.
If you don't understand those 10 principles of business, you're not going to be running a business. You're not even going to be running your personal finance as well. And, we talked about this earlier. You had 1,500 females came on your show, and it sounded to me, based on your feedback there, that there was not a lot of strong demand for unintelligent men with low resources.
Yeah,
Weak
it's
men
quite
with-
the opposite.
Yeah.
And I mean, the scary part is even guys, even average girls demand this. So it's the days of being mediocre are fucking done, man. So, okay. So now, so we're on to the last three here, guys, and the ladies just showed up. So we'll push through.
Speaking of microeconomics, real quick, people are so bad at managing their personal finances.
Yes.
The average person is so easy to stump. You could just how much money you spent last month. They couldn't even tell you the number. Like they'd have no accurate way to track that. They're not something that they're keeping top of mind. And I think if you can't answer like basic questions like that, how much money did you spend last month? You'd be amazed at how many people just can't answer that question when you ask them. And
Scary.
if you don't know how to manage your own personal resources, how you gonna start a business, man? You know, right? That's why it's so important that you guys get this information that Derek's putting out in this course, man, because it's going to teach you everything from top to bottom, like the basic foundational shit that you really need to ball on these hoes.
Yeah, there's a parable in the Bible talking about, you know, when you have more, you get more, versus when you have little, you don't get shit.
So it said in the
That's
Bible,
exactly what it said, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That was
pretty much,
Luke.
you
It
know,
said
in
you don't
the
get shit.
Bible,
Yeah.
if you don't manage your current resources well, you don't get shit.
Yeah.
Well,
That was what it was. I think that was the New
my
Testament.
premise may have been a little bit off.
That
but
was
you
the
get
New
the point I'm trying to say.
I think it was
That was the point that Jesus or God was handing down.
The parable is sower in the seeds.
I think it was. What was it like? Thou shall not receive shitteth, something like that. Is what it is, right?
Yeah.
The misogyny battle.
And they killed him for that.
Well, no,
They killed him for saying that you won't do that.
If you can't manage the
Trill
current
stink.
shit, you can't get no more shit.
not that part specifically, but yes.
And then you're fucked.
He did pass away for our sins. Yeah.
Okay. So no finance, accounting, and statistics.
If you know, again, we were just talking about it. If you can't finance and accounting on the accounting side, it's a boring topic for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's very
Honestly, I think it's a bit boring.
Yeah.
I took about 8 accounting classes when I was in university between undergrad and graduate school. I find it rather boring. You know what I don't find boring? Days when I make $2.5 million in a day in the stock market. I don't find that too boring. That's pretty cool. That's not too boring.
It's not bad.
You know, we know what I don't mind having my new $25 million ClickFunnels plat coming. That's not too boring. That's pretty cool, huh?
Your Maybach's
That's
not
all right.
boring.
My Maybach's pretty good.
It's cool.
You know, it's a little boring that there's so much room that you could just fall asleep. It's so quiet in the
I
back
can see
of the
that
Maybach.
problem.
It's so quiet and so comfortable. It's more comfortable than like a business class seat in an international jet. So, you know, sometimes it's so quiet that it can be a little, you know,
I actually do the
low
accounting.
energy back there.
I get that. I actually do the accounting for my businesses still. I actually do the accounting.
Okay. Use your own
And
numbers.
it is boring. But you know, when I look at my watch, I mean, I try to look at it. Sometimes I'm like, fuck up my retina. If I look at the lights, are kind of too bright here for me to look at it directly. But when I look at my watch, I'm like, man, it's a good thing I spent that time learning accounting. You know,
There you go.
it served me well. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't understand finance, you know, accounting, if you can't read the numbers, it literally is like accounting is the language of business.
Yeah.
If you can't read the numbers and don't understand,
Very true.
you know, accounting is understanding, you know, how is the money coming into the business? You know, where is that money being utilized? Like, what are the bills that need to be paid that'll keep producing more money in the future? And then how much of the money do you get to keep for yourself as the business owner?
Yeah.
And that's going to dictate an awful lot about how your lifestyle is going to be, and you know, in the present and also in the future. So if you can't read, it'd be literally like you're illiterate. You can't understand how the money's coming in or out. How would you make the best economic decisions if you don't even understand how the money's flowing?
Absolutely.
So you got to be able to read the financial statements, and you know, finance intertwined with that. I mean, we talked about options for a moment earlier. Like, I made a lot of money in options. I made tens of millions of dollars between the things that I know about real estate, the things I understand about the stock market, the things I understood about entrepreneurship. You know, I added about $40 million to my net worth in a couple of years' time. And even when there's a little pullback in the recession, you know, I was down about 10.1 million, and I got about 3 of that back recently, or 3.2. So other people are losing money. I'm back making money. Even though the market's going down, I'm still making money.
Yeah. A lot of people panic with the stock market, taking a dip. But like if you're a savvy investor, this is the opportunities.
I love volatility in the market.
Yeah.
But I only love volatility in the market because I understand finance. So because I understand the accounting to read the financial statements.
Yeah.
I understand what the financial statements say in detail. I understand how to go back to the market and be like, given the situation that we're in here, we need to, sell that and buy this, or double down and buy more of something.
Yeah.
Or look at the options contracts. Sometimes you get a better premium. You can make a few percent literally overnight. You can also lose your ass if you don't know what you're doing overnight. So you could lose your ass overnight if you don't know what you're doing. You can make a few percent overnight if you do know what you're doing. And that's more than you make in a year if you're buying treasuries or,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Listen, one thing I would say about accounting. I'm sorry, Fresh. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's the way I think about accounting for business is kind of like for fitness, right?
Okay.
You track your calories.
Oh yeah.
Right. You track how much you
Good point.
Your macros, and the people who do that on a consistent basis, they get the best results.
Absolutely.
Right? For sure. Accounting is like your macros, but for your business.
Bam.
Right. If you track that stuff, your business will grow the same way. If you track your calories and your macros in your fitness, your muscles will grow, or you'll lose fat, or you'll get better body composition. You'll have better business composition if the accounting is right. And that's why I still take it so seriously to the point where I do my own accounting for my business.
What gets measured gets managed.
What gets measured gets managed. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Peter Drucker said that, man. Big Pete.
Bam.
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, before I hit the last one here, let me read any chats that may have come through, Chris, and then we'll go into the last one, which is probably one of the most important, actually, because if you don't have this skill, you're not going to make no goddamn money, regardless of how good your product is. Okay, I made $11K the past 2 months selling options so far with $100K in a financial advisor. I'm going to start watching your stuff now. Thank you so much for
Hey, shout out to you.
And then we got, Viking Paradigm, one of our longtime supporters. Shout out to him. He goes, this show has given me the fire to make some changes on how I offer my expert internet skills. I will see you guys in Miami ASAP. Okay, shout out to you, Viking Paradigm. He helps us a lot with our internet. Shout out to him.
Yep.
And for Moore, shout out to all getting my money up for mentorship. Yes, absolutely, my friend. And actually, Viking is a big part of the reason why we don't lag anymore, guys. He's helped me a lot with consulting for the internet, so he knows what the hell he's talking about. Jalen Mosley goes, I started dropshipping rebranded watches and have made close to $6,000 this month at just 17. I still can't hardly believe it, but I'm only on the way up from here. Shout out to FNF and you, Brandon, for the high value alpha baller course.
That's what's up, yo.
Shout out to my friends.
Hey, we out here.
Last one here goes, Mr. Beef Snorkel, is there a certain type of tax professional I can Google/find that their specialty is finding all possible tax deductions for my LLC? If so, what is the name of these specialists?
That's a good question, Mr. B.
A good CPA.
That's a good question. Mr. B. Snorkel brings up a good point.
You guys want? I could take that one, or unless you guys have something.
I just echo what Fresh said. It has to be a good CPA, not just any CPA.
Facts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of CPAs that they pass their little 5 tests. They got their certification. All right, you're certified public accountant. But a lot of them still don't know shit about business.
Facts.
They spent their time in academics. Then they studied for their CPA exam, and they can make a decent enough income that, it's somebody that maybe they're making 80 grand, maybe they're making 150 grand if they've been doing it for a while, but it doesn't mean that they understand business. It doesn't mean that they understand your LLC,
So true.
your company. Yeah. So you need, it'd be great to find the right CPA, exactly as he said, that has some business experience, that they've lived it themselves, and they're not just shuffling basic paperwork for somebody else to get a little paycheck and go home and simp.
Yeah, and I'll say this, like, if you're in a certain niche, like for example, like my CPA guys, he's really well versed in real estate. As you guys know, I'm a real estate investor. I own 8 properties, so I want someone in that niche that can aggressively deduct things for me, obviously from a legal sense, but he knows it because he understands, the power of depreciation, cost segregation, etc. You need accountants that know this stuff, and a lot of times that accountant that you want needs to be in the field that you're in. So at some point you can start with H&R Block, but as you become more and more well-versed into your niche in business, whatever it may be, you want an accountant that can maximize whatever path you try to take, whether it's real estate, creating a business, having a storage unit, whatever it is that you do. There's an accountant that will be in that niche that can give you the best angle for tax.
And it helps, especially if you know what you're talking about. For example, the terms, the terminology, what to ask them. Because if you know what to talk about, You don't need to know everything. You just need to know the basics so you can understand it, and it can help you as well.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And you can learn basic financial language. You know, you can understand accounting and the fundamentals of accounting and what a balance sheet looks like,
On YouTube.
what an income statement looks like, what a statement of cash flows. This in detail. You can go to YouTube. You can go fumble around by yourself
That's
on
a
YouTube.
fact.
If you're a fumbler,
That's a fact.
For
Yeah.
free.
if you're a fumbler, you can go free. You can go find free tax advice. You can get free laser eye surgery too. It's just your financial future at stake. You can do free if you like.
I don't let people do
yeah.
things for me for free that are important. Like if it's important to me, I won't let anyone do it for free.
It was important enough to me that, I spent 9 years at the best universities, went to the #1 graduate school in our country. So I could understand the detailed nuances because I didn't want free. I wanted to have the best information so I could have the best outcomes.
Price is what you pay, value is what you get. You ain't gonna get the best value for free.
And here's the other thing too. I'm just gonna I'll say this as well. The important. It's like when I invested into your program, I spent a significant amount of money. It was like $5,000, right? Back then when I was with my government employee, right? And and it was back then. And shout out to you because I was actually more expensive, but you had locked in a certain rate for me because I had, I told you I was working for the government at the time. I needed to get some paperwork outside employment.
You never know when I might need a government shooter on my side,
Shout out to Brandon because he had to increase his prices by the time I reapproached him. But the whole point of this story is to tell you guys this. When you spend money, right, you got to pay money to pay attention. And what I mean by that is if you pay for a product, a lot of the times what's going to happen is you're going to take it more seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to be like, damn, I dropped 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever it may be. Obviously, this course is not going to be that expensive for y'all. You don't have to, Moneyberg's giving you guys a discount. But when you pay money, that's going to force you to pay attention. A lot of times people need skin in the game. It's a mental thing to be able to take the shit seriously. It's basic psychology. If you give it to them for free, they're going to take it serious. That's why I no longer give free fitness advice. You want to get fitness advice from me? You got to fucking pay me because I know your dumbass ain't going to track your macros unless I tell you to do it and I charge you in the process.
Yeah.
I learned this very early on with giving anyone any type of free value or free advice where I want them to actually be serious and take it. You got to pay attention.
That's a fact.
Anybody that prefers free over valuable deserves the terrible outcomes they're about to experience. Anybody that wants free over valuable, you deserve for your future to be even more bleak than your past.
I think it's weird when guys ask for like stuff for, why don't you give me your program for free, or why don't you let me in your mentorship program for free?
Way more now. Sorry for you guys.
I think it's weird that guys are asking for that. Like, what? You're a man. You should want to earn your keep, right? Like, you're not a pretty girl unless you want me to treat you like a pretty girl. Well, then
that's not free. You're gonna have to work hard. You're gonna have to work hard.
I think for a foundation, having the free content is good.
Yes,
but to actually
for sure.
get the help that you actually need, you got to pay for it. You have to.
Yeah, that's the only way you take it seriously. I mean, that's what forced me, even after long nights of surveillance, I was tired as fuck. It forced me to go through the modules because I had paid Brandon a significant amount of money to me at the time, especially. And on top of that, he gave me a discount and held the price for me. So I was like, damn, okay, he gave me a good price. It's still expensive, but regardless, I need to make sure that I take accountability here and make the most of it. But so the last one here, guys, we're at the final, is marketing yourself. Which is very, very important. Sometimes I always say the best marketing, you don't even notice it sometimes. Can y'all talk about the importance of marketing and being able to do that to generate wealth and create wealth?
I was saying, and I think everyone at this table can attest to this, the best marketing is having the best product, right? The best product or service, right? Because all businesses, every business is solving problems, right? Solving problems for someone. For example, we needed some clear mics that block out outside noise and would pick up the guests. Sure, solve this problem for you.
Yeah.
Right. We needed some amazing cameras all around the room to get the best image quality, and Sony solved that problem for you guys, right? And you exchange currency for that, right? Your ability to do that, to solve problems for people with either your product or service, if it's really, really good, you don't have to market as much. For example, Tesla, they don't even have a marketing budget. They spend everything on research and development, and they let the car speak for themselves. Now, of course, Eli, he's built up a reputation where he can like tweet something, but there might be more to it than that. But Lamborghini, no, Rolls Royce. You just bought a Rolls Royce. Did you like see some ad or then went and bought a Rolls Royce? Nah,
No.
you already knew what was up.
And
You know what I'm
to
saying?
make that car, it takes like 9 months to make one car.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
But you knew all that. You went and sought that out. Nobody had to, you probably knew that before you walked into place, right?
Mhm.
That's the beauty of having an amazing product. And it's kind of
I
what
mean,
you
look
guys
at the
did.
watches here. We got 3 Rolexes and
Come
an
on,
AP, right? I don't see ads for Rolex.
No, I don't watch TV, but I imagine there's
AP.
no fucking commercials for iced out baller ass APs.
Well, I think a commercial will be a rap video. That's what a commercial is.
No, I get that. So I think what Fresh and Myron have done with this, right? They put together such a product and a reputation that it started to spread it on its own. You guys weren't paying for advertising.
Yeah.
Right? It built organically.
Their haters did it for us for free.
Oh, and
Free promo.
the haters will do that too, man. That's beautiful, right? So it's that's the foundation. Because without that, let's say you get good at marketing, without that, that's even worse. That's the worst thing you can do, because now you're just showing many people that you suck. You get what I'm saying? That's how you get like bad reputations. And you can't do that and succeed in the long term. For example, I've been on the internet making money online for over a decade. That's kind of rare.
Yeah.
But you can't do that unless you actually putting out quality and actually solving problems for
You'll
your
get
customers.
exposed and be gone in a year or
There's
two
no
if
way
you do that bullshit.
It can't last.
Yeah,
it can't last, right? And I've been doing this for over a decade online. You get what I'm saying? And some of the backgrounds, some of the where me and Derek come from, like if you ripping people off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think I always just kept that in my mind, because I'm cut from that cloth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be on some bullshit selling a bullshit product on the internet. They will expose you. They will find you. They will call you a scammer. You won't, people won't make money, and you'll be done.
That's what happens on the internet. In real life, some
problems may hit your way.
My comment about marketing, I could have done a whole lot more marketing about my program while we're here chatting today. And I don't need it. I've talked about 2% of the bullet points of what's in that program. I'd say this, the best marketing I could have in this environment is that I was here 3 months ago, and a couple hundred of people from your audience made a commitment.
Shout out to you guys that made the move.
Someone just bought it just now. William just bought it.
Shout out to you, my friend.
Classic William. He's
a couple hundred people in your audience. A couple hundred people in your audience made a commitment to a brighter future by joining that program. And if you didn't have you told me you had some very robust, positive feedback from some of those people. If that wasn't true, I don't think you'd invite me back on here.
Yeah.
To have access to the literally the best, the most serious, the most dedicated, the most up and coming, high quality people in your audience. I don't think you all invite me back here if you knew it wasn't going to help them significantly, like it's helped others who already made that commitment to work together with me.
Yeah. And I mean, to get it at the cost that it is ridiculous. I mean, you're offering it at a great price.
60% off. It's only $1,000. It's 20. It's 20 programs. 2,497. I've got it here for $1,000.
Yep.
But only if you click that link, and only will that promo last. That's just for the Fresh and Fit audience. It's only $1,000. Somebody's going to say, Derek, why is it not $997? Derek should be $997. $1,000. Where I could get $1,000? Hey,
they be crying like hoes.
The people that I work with are not crying hoes.
They're not
the people that I work with, they tend to be ambitious. They tend to be motivated. It's people that they have a goal to have at least $1 million net worth.
Yeah.
$1 million don't buy what it used to.
Listen, it's
$1 million barely buy some jewelry.
You can't live off of it, but it's a good start.
It's a good start.
And I'll be honest, as you guys know, I recently became, I became a millionaire at the end of last year.
Hey, congratulations,
Thank you, man.
Welcome.
And when I did,
we're glad to have you.
I'm at the rich poor now, right? So, but my thing is, when I made that first million, I really realized I was like, this isn't that much money. It really isn't that much money. And when you guys get there, which a lot of you guys here in the audience will, if you work your ass off, I'm telling you, you can. You're gonna notice it's really not that much money, especially with the way inflation is. Whatever. Back in the '90s. Fantastic. Yeah. I'm a millionaire. I'm a multi-millionaire. Nowadays, man, that's not generational wealth anymore.
Yeah.
That'll last maybe 1 or 2 generations, assuming you do everything correctly and you're not an idiot.
I could buy what? 2 houses and a car if you're lucky.
If not even that at this point. So it's, guys, and when you get there, you'll know what I'm talking about. But man, to invest in yourself $1,000, you're going to make that money back if you follow the modules. If you actually
if you do the work though, if you're a lazy hoe,
very clear.
Listen, if you a lazy hoe, just keep the money, man. I'm telling you, just
don't even spend it.
Buy some weed,
buy some tampons, you bitch.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good investment for you, man.
Yeah, I mean,
damn.
I'll keep it 1,000 with y'all. Like, real talk, man. This is not a quick rich scheme. This is not going to tell you, oh, you'll make $100,000 in this year if you follow this stuff, whatever. It's going to take some significant studying from you. It's going to take some work on your end. It's going to take some hustle and ambition on your side. However, you're going to at least have the roadmap and the tools to become successful. How you apply them is up to you, but you actually have to do the work. We're not going to sit here and lie and tell you we're going to make you rich. No,
I want to be clear about that, because if you lazy, you really should. I know we're joking around, but if you're lazy and you're not serious,
you should really buy the tampons, you bitch.
Yeah, you should stay away from this, because it's if we told you that buy Derek's 10 Commandments, you're going to be rich overnight or rich next month, you wouldn't even fucking believe it, bro. You wouldn't believe it. And you know that, man.
It might take y'all 6 months to a year to really start generating money, guys. It might take some time. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you we're going to make you rich quick. However, this will get number one, you're going to learn the mindset. Number two, you're going to understand how money really works. That's half the fucking game right there, understanding how money really works. And then figuring out how to generate the money. And then once you're able to generate the money, now you can put yourself in a position where you could deploy that earned income, put it into assets, and next thing you know, maybe you could be on a podcast with an iced out AP buying shit off of, passive income.
Yeah. My last comment here, man, is that look, you guys want to be like me and Myron. You want to be successful. You want to be entrepreneurs. Well, guess what? You got to invest in yourself. And we got a course here from Derek and also Brandon that teaches you how to do that. And look, you might say to yourself, oh, you know what? $1,000 is a lot of money. Bro, y'all go to the club, buy 2 bottles. That's a band. And you're still broke. And I'm trying to figure, does that make sense? Or you can invest in yourself, get some knowledge, apply it, and make way more money. So think about that, man.
Yeah, only get it if you're serious. Sorry, go ahead, Derek. If you're serious.
In a nice club, $1,000 is only 1 bottle nowadays. Not even a joke. Not even a joke. There's a comment on the screen for one of the fellas that bought last time here. Check out Anoop here. It says,
I am ashamed to say I spent more money on mentorship where I've gotten less information than Derek's 10 Commandments course. Damn. So
he got more value, and he just spent $100. Tell you all that. He got more value for my 10 Commandments course than other programs we spent way more money on.
Damn.
They spent way more money on.
Sheesh.
I just want to say one more thing to wrap up my final thought on this. So again, it's not for if you're lazy, if you're dedicated to a life of poverty and stupidity.
If you submitted your allegiance to poverty, then you should stay away from this.
Yeah, this is not for people that are dedicated to continuing a life of despair, suffering, stupidity, struggle. This is for people that want more financial abundance. When we talk about money, it's just your fucking freedom.
Yeah, man.
It's just your freedom. It's just your freedom to spend your life the way you want to not have to show up to a bitch ass job that you hate and pretend like you like it. It's just your freedom to have the security that your family is going to be fed. You got enough resources. You got multiple streams of income and big enough streams of income that if something don't work out, I promise you in life, if you go down the path of entrepreneurship, a couple shitty things are going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I
promise you in life, if you go down the path of being an investor in real estate and or stock markets, you're going to have a couple bad days.
Yeah.
I had some bad days. Huh? I lost about, I'm down 6.9 million from my peak. Guess what? I'm still up over 33 million, 34 million in a couple of years.
It's not bad.
All right. Who this is for, somebody, you want to make a better life, you're willing to put in the work. The program itself is very detailed. There's about 80 hours. I said that right. There's about 80 hours of content.
Damn.
I interviewed champions from around the world. I interviewed several people that are Olympic gold medal winners, people that were boxing world champions, people that were, Olympic gold medals in speed skating, wrestling, volleyball, numerous fighters from UFC, most of them UFC, Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, a bunch of Hall of Fame guys from UFC, some current guys, Hoist Gracie.
Iceman.
Some of these are my mentors and my coaches in MMA, and I asked them to share some of their insights, like what are the things that made you so successful in your career? What are the things that made you, a Hall of Fame legendary, not just a champion, but the best of the best champions?
Yeah, I see you interviewing them on your Instagram.
Yeah, you see clips
Yeah,
of them,
yeah.
and you see the full interviews that are an hour plus long inside this program
Yeah.
with dozens of these world champions, best in the world, best whoever did it in certain areas. They're going to tell you how to be successful. You're going to hear me and them discuss and how do you create real success in your life? Not some get rich. I didn't hear one fucking champion, not one, who said to me, "Hey man, it was easy."
Yeah.
Say, Chuck Liddell, how'd you win those 5 world titles? He didn't say, "Hey man, it was easy."
Yeah.
Nobody said that shit. And this is going to take some effort on your part too. But I can tell you this, that you're going to learn things in there that I paid a lot of money and spent a lot of time to learn from the best schools in the world. You're going to hear from other champions, people that are some of my clients that are millionaires and multimillionaires. Some of my clients that still got a job, but they got themselves a 40% raise after they worked on one of my courses.
Come on, man.
So you're going to learn in there, if you apply it, how to get a raise, how to get a promotion, how to get a fat ass bonus check, but more importantly, how to get away from that career because you're making more money in an entrepreneurial endeavor that you ain't got time to show up for that job anymore.
Yeah.
And most importantly, how to learn the language of investing, how to read financial statements, and how to think about global markets. So you too, yes, even you, if you apply yourself,
Even you.
not if you're a weak, dumb motherfucker,
Nah, not you,
but
man.
not you,
Not you.
but the good ones,
other
the ones that are serious,
Yeah.
the ones that are trying to do something. Even you can do a lot better. You can make enough money from your investments that you don't have time to do things in your business that you don't enjoy. Do you think when Fresh is running around with his fucking watch collection and his Lambos and Rolls, like you got time to do shit you hate to make the money to pay for that shit, man?
Nope.
You
Only
got
what
time?
I love.
Yeah, you got time to do shit you hate to fucking to create the real estate portfolio and the other investment?
Yeah, definitely not.
I ain't got time to. I don't even want the wrong fucking client. I literally say, if you're not you know why I built the whole damn business? And you touched on this earlier. And I'll be mindful about time, but you touched on this earlier that I was already doing quite well before I started this business. I only started this business about 3 years ago. First money I made was in October 2019 in this business. I just started this about 3 years ago. And more than the money, I'm going to get the fucking money. I help make people make a lot of fucking money. I'm going to make some too. Okay. But the most valuable thing is that I have so many fantastic clients. That if you're the type of person that we have, similar values and similar goals, we might have a real friendship later on. I'm friends with a lot of my clients. Those are the people who I want to bring in the door because, those people, honestly, they're going to give me a lot more when they see how valuable this is and how much this helped their life. They're going to give me more money in the future. You're going to give me more money. But you can only do that if I over deliver.
Yeah.
You can only do that if I gave you so much value and it's so clear to you, man, I paid $1,000 for a course that everybody else paid $2,500 for. But you paid $1,000 for a course that changed the whole trajectory of your life. That person's going to give me some more money because they know that I can help them solve other problems that are going to be very valuable. Right? And those are the people that I want to that I want to have a relationship with and a friendship with that might be my business partner in the future. That might be somebody that's doing well enough themselves that he's given me or she's given me some business advice in the future. See some angle on an investment that maybe I didn't see by myself. So those are the people that I want to be in here. It's like somebody that quite literally somebody that'd be cool to hang out with. If they were here at the table with the 4 of us, if they were in a 5th chair over here, they'd fit right in. They belong. They paid their dues. They're not some get-rich-quick sucker. They're somebody that's willing to do the work, willing to earn their spot in the world, and they want to be a better option. They want to be a good provider for themselves, for their family. Be a good man.
Yeah.
And if you're that type of person, click that link.
You should click the link.
Tell them to click the link.
Yeah, click the goddamn link,
Click the
guys. And I
goddamn
mean,
link.
and before we close this out, I was just going to tell y'all real quick, that's how I even met Brandon. I was his client first, right? I was one of his students, and then we built a friendship together. And then, Brandon has done so many things behind the scenes to help me scale this business up. And you guys are enjoying Fresh and Fit a lot because of the things that Brandon taught me and helped me out with. And that's how we're bringing this broadcast to y'all right now. So your mentor, right, if you add enough value, can definitely become an asset to you later on in life. And Brandon has helped me out so much behind the scenes. So
thank you.
Thank you for that, man.
Because Brandon's mentor, so it just extends.
It extends, man.
Wealth transfer.
You gotta. Sometimes you gotta pay to get into certain circles, and then once you get into those circles, you add the value, and then bam, you become a permanent staple in that circle, and that's what you want to do.
You guys have both helped me with things. As I come back to YouTube, like you was giving me tips, you and your team, and it becomes just a
circle.
value exchange.
Yeah,
you
full
know,
circle.
everybody's winning.
That's the
You know?
importance of getting in the circle,
Yeah.
cementing your place by adding value, and then bam, now you're in that circle and you're able to have infinite value and make money together. And this is what you guys want. You want to put yourself in a circle of successful guys that are like-minded, that are, you know, honestly doing better than you. Obviously, Brandon and Derek make more money than I do, right? I'm like a baby multimillionaire. These guys are like on another level, but that's what you need to surround yourself. If you walk into the room and you're the smartest guy in the room, you're the fucking retard. That's the truth.
I call it a success network. But Derek and Brandon, where can they find you on, man?
Yeah, please.
You find me, you know, if you Google Moneyberg, you put in the word Moneyberg, you're gonna find
There's only one.
a handsome, strong,
Yeah.
strong
Yeah.
man with a wide chest.
They said Ron Jeremy
Majestic hair.
before the beard.
That's high praise.
I met Ron Jeremy at the Playboy Mansion years ago. He probably fucked your mother. The guy.
Yeah, probably.
Whoever said it looked like him, he probably fucked your mother.
It's highly likely. It's
Yeah.
highly likely.
He's known for a long cock and butt sex. He probably came in right in your mom's butt.
Yeah. Maybe that's how you got here.
Yo.
That might be your origin story.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, fire is
Yeah.
back, man.
Hey,
Shout out to you.
if you're serious about a better future, let me help you. Click that link.
Quick the goddamn
If you're the type of guy that, you know, maybe success is not for you, I
Nah.
understand, man. But hey, when I come through your Starbucks, when you're the cashier on the other side,
Don't fuck
when
up
I
my
come through,
shit.
don't
man.
you fuck up my. I'm gonna get an iced coffee. I want the venti iced coffee
Yeah.
with light ice and no sweetener, and I want the cream on the side. You bum.
Yeah.
I want the cream on your side. If you can't do that right, if you can't make my fucking coffee right, don't expect to do anything else right. You're gonna stay down there.
Yeah, man. When I call my fucking Uber, you pull up to the fucking front of the building. I'm sick of you motherfuckers pulling up to the back.
Don't stop 8 feet short of where I'm standing.
Straight up,
You
man.
can't even drive the Uber right. How are you gonna be qualified for more success?
Straight
if
up.
you can't do that right, you're not.
And if you playing
qualified for
some
more.
white girl music, you turn that shit off, man.
What
I wanna hear
music?
White girl music, you know, Maroon 5 or some shit. I don't know. Right? Like, turn that shit off when I get in your Uber, man.
And where can they find you, Brandon?
Oh. I'm most active on Instagram, King Keto, KINGKETO. It's the one with like almost 1 million followers and
Yeah,
the
they're both verified on
and all
Instagram,
that
guys.
shit.
Both
You
of
know,
their accounts are verified. Don't fall for the fakes.
Don't fall for the
Yeah,
fakes.
my main account's on Instagram too. I got a little over 4 million people on there.
Yeah, who's counting?
You see my handsome hair and about
Yeah.
4 million people in that blue check mark.
Yeah.
Some fine pimp shit going on.
It's some certified pimping going on over there.
Yes.
You can also
Excuse me. I didn't want to interrupt certified pimping.
Yeah. You can also, speaking of which, you can also find me on YouTube. I just came back. I got 700,000
You're
subscribers.
around 800K. Close
Around
to it.
800.
You're close to
It-
800.
You know,
I only got 135,000.
oh
Falling
man.
out of control on YouTube.
I'm trying, Derek. I'm trying.
Success is not for everybody.
It's not.
It might not be for you.
Probably
but if it
not.
is, but if it is,
But if it is,
click that link. Get yourself on board. I'm happy to help you, but you got to want to help yourself.
All right, we got the last
Bam.
chat here.
Last chat here goes Anne-Farie.
More?
Yeah, more goes.
More.
Whoa, pay to play. Thank you, Myron. Yes, absolutely, guys. That's what it costs to get around successful people. They purposely put a paywall up because they don't want to be around bums, guys.
yeah.
That's what it takes to get into these inner circles and make money
Facts.
with wealthy individuals. You got to pay to get in there. A lot of y'all will pay to play with some fucking hoes,
Yeah.
but you won't pay to play with entrepreneurs that are
Damn.
multimillionaires.
Sheesh.
That's the goddamn truth. So stop paying these hoes. Start
Yeah.
paying guys that know what the hell they're doing and make money with them. All right. Don't lose your money with chicks that don't give a fuck about you. Stop tricking.
Damn.
We'll catch you guys right back with some lovely ladies here in a bit. Peace.
Peace.